Welcome back to the ANATY Invitational, as we will be heading into our second semi-final pretty soon. Of course now, Josh, M&J is joining me. How are you doing today?
I'm alright, yeah, look, I'm over here now, I'm normally over there. But yeah, I'm doing good, I got to catch sort of the end of that last matchup. It was pretty interesting, actually, the fact that Big Academy were the favourites going into it. They're actually the first seed going into the tournament as a whole. They had a really dominant first map, and you're kind of thinking, okay, like this is just going to be a very one-sided win and they'll be able to take it over the top. And no, alternate attacks, they fought back really hard and they bagged themselves a very well-deserved spot in the finals. Now we're going to see who's going to be joining them. No Limit Gaming, a side that we haven't seen yet. They're the second seed. They're invited into that second semi-finals spot up against Epic Dudes, who had a fantastic game yesterday against Sissy State Punks. Like, you had to be there for it, Tyler. It was really good. It was like a real kind of little underdog story where they pulled it back after being down in the first map, and it was fantastic. It was really enjoyable to watch. And yeah, now we get to see them kind of battle it out against a team of a slightly higher caliber.
Yeah, I did see like the first half, I think, of that Epic Dudes game yesterday on stream. So yeah, it was interesting to see, and also just to kind of follow along. Sure, I think Epic Dudes kind of did, of course, win it. It was a close affair, even though, of course, yeah, Nuke didn't really seem like it was that close of a game, but I wasn't there to see it. Yeah. So yeah, I just saw the results yesterday evening. It was like, okay, well, that ended up the way I was expecting, but not in that progression. So we'll have to see what they can do today. Yeah, Hayes and I pretty much already talked about the fact that NLG surely are going to be our favorites for this matchup today. Sure, not to underestimate Epic Dudes in any capacity, but I still feel like NLG are at another level right now.
Yeah, I mean, me and Hayes were talking about this yesterday. It feels like the teams within this tournament, yeah, you've got Ryzen, you've got Sissy State Punks, you've got Epic Dudes, and they're kind of within this kind of Meisterschaft level, but definitely on the lower end of it, not really playing in much outside of these like regional German tournaments and whatnot. And then you've got the Big Academy, you've got No Limit Gaming, and you've got Brains Gone Dead, Alternate Attacks, and they're kind of they've breached out of that just solely playing within like German regional stuff. You see them playing in like these Pinnacle Cups and playing in these kind of broader European tournaments, doing well in the RMRs as well. I think No Limit Gaming are currently in that sort of top 16 RMR for this qualifier as well. I think Hayes said that to me yesterday, unless he's giving me false info. But yeah, they've been doing really fantastically well. So I am excited to see what they can do today. To be honest, I really am backing them to beat Epic Dudes today. I do think that they should be able to take this series. Whether they do it in 2 or 3 maps, I'm not 100% on yet. We'll have to see how Epic Dudes kind of show up today.
Yeah, we'll definitely have to see how they show up, but of course, before we can actually see how they show up, I think we have the vetoes ready with the players. If we do, let's bring them into the conversation. And I forgot who actually gets to start the veto. But I
they do rock, paper, scissors, bro. No?
Is it Okalicious?
Not today. Ah.
I think they're starting.
Ah, okay.
Or Syncd has to decide who gets to start or whatever. But yeah.
I have to decide? If I can decide, then they start. Okay, so we ban Inferno. Okay, we ban Ancient. We pick Dust 2. We'll pick Nuke. What's left actually? Overpass? Overpass, Mirage. We ban Vertigo. We ban Mirage. So Overpass is left, right?
Yep.
Let's go.
Alright, thanks guys.
Thank you. No problem. Thank you.
Awesome, thanks.
Well, Dust 2, Nuke, and Overpass, our 3 maps, is going to be interesting to see, that's for sure. As, yeah, we'll send those guys off to the server. They can get ready with their teams, and then we will be heading onto the server soon as well to try and follow them. What do we think of this?
Well, before we actually jumped into the vetoes, I was going to say, Epic Dudes will probably try and pull a nuke here. If they can get a nuke into this veto, then I think they'll be pretty happy. After yesterday, like that was a fantastic performance from them on nuke. They started off on their CT side. It was actually SSP's pick, and they had a 13-2 half. They were just completely unstoppable. Their defense was rock solid. Their clutches were fantastic as well, and they really just led that game through and through. So whether they're going to be able to do that against NLG is kind of another question, isn't it? But I think that it's probably one of the maps that they'll want to have a go on. So it's cool that they've managed to kind of wriggle it in, and they get to pick into it first.
Yes, we'll have to see how they kind of start to progress with that. I think it's going to be super interesting, just due to the fact as well that we're not really sure, I guess, who's really going to come out in what kind of situation. I think it's interesting that they pretty much banned the best maps that each team has. So kind of for Epic Dudes, they presumably play Inferno. On the other side, NLG, they usually play Ancient a bunch. Both of those maps were kind of banned out in first rotation. Yeah, they both kind of get to play their second favorite map then. And
yeah.
Nuke is kind of coming in there out of nowhere. They just didn't want to play the others.
Yeah, I suppose. I mean, you've got to remember that a lot of these maps that they've got on record are literally within ESEA and within these kind of German tournaments themselves. When you look at HLTV and whatnot, they really don't have a lot of maps on record against other teams. NOG have played a couple of games recently against Sinners and against Enterprise that were close. Yeah, they took Enterprise to 3 maps. They lost to Sinners 16-12. But we didn't really see any of the maps that we're seeing today within those matchups. That was Mirage and Ancient, that both were quite one-sided, but yeah, they've been banned right out. So I'm not really too sure kind of what to go off of in terms of like external statistics. We are just going to have to look at what's happened in the past when these two teams have played against each other. NLG we were talking yesterday about the fact that NLG within Meisterschaft had absolutely demolished SSP the last time they played them. I don't think they've played Epic Dudes yet because they're in different groups. But yeah, it was like a 16-4, the last result I saw between SSP and NOG. And I think it was one of the Epic Dudes players yesterday was saying that they actually beat them 16-0 as well in one of their recent matchups. So I think that they're definitely like a caliber above. Bearing in mind, Epic Dudes were kind of fighting tooth and nail with Sissy State Punks yesterday, going to a third map and whatnot. To hear that kind of round disparity within those matchups is quite interesting.
Yeah, so of course we'll have to see how they get to it. Let's take a look at the lineups first before we actually jump over to the server, so that you guys know who's going to be on the server as well. Of course, on the side of Ultimate Gaming, it's Red, Marky, Okalicious, Perks, and Paddy. And yeah, on the other side, Epic Dudes, of course, we know them as well. I'd say Kirby's probably the guy on the server that has the most experience, maybe besides Marky. Of course, Marky kind of also been around the German scene for ages. So has Kirby, so has Kazuya on the side of Epic Dudes. So it's going to be really interesting. I think Sync D was one of those players that really came out of nowhere at some stage. His first season of Meisterschaft, he won the MVP title back with Sprouts, and then kind of left that roster, been around the block a little bit, and yeah, has now made a return here, and we'll see what he can continue to do with his team.
Yeah, this is kind of an interesting roster of veterans, isn't it? I mean, we got the chance to interview Kazuya yesterday, and yeah, we kind of talked a little bit about his experience and how long he's been playing CS. He said he's been like within the scene for like 15 years now, yeah. And he's kind of been all over the place, hasn't he? Now he's joining some other players that are kind of in a similar situation where they've been playing CS for a long time, and I think this is a pretty solid roster and could go far. But we'll see. I'm interested to see how far they can go in this tournament. Of course, this matchup, it's going to be a difficult one. There's no two ways about it. There's no point in saying, yeah, like it's a 50-50, because it's just not. I know GR are the better side. Epic Dudes definitely know that. Again, in the interview with Kazuya yesterday, we said, how's he feeling about like playing against NLG tomorrow? And he said it's going to be harder. Like, we're going to go and we're going to try our best. I think we can do it if we have a good day, but it's going to be a much harder matchup. So I think they're ready for that, and whether their mentality is strong and they're sort of going in as the underdogs but still confident or not is another question. But they know that they're the underdogs in this one.
Yes, of course, we will be starting things off on Dust 2 pretty soon. The big thing about Dust 2 is probably still that, sure, both teams can play it. It's kind of been around the block, sure, it was updated, but that was also what feels like ages ago already. And at the same time, of course, on Dust 2, anything can happen. It's not that unusual that we see an 8-7 or maybe even 9-6 halves. I'd be expecting something like that, but at the same time, I know that NLG should just leave no chance and move on to the grand final pretty easy, so really just up for anything.
Yeah, I think an alternate attacks NLG grand final would actually be really cool as well. That would be like a really cool grand final. So I don't want to like jump the gun, but yeah, if that ends up being our final matchup, then that would be a really interesting one to watch. But yeah, Dust 2, it's one of those maps, isn't it, that it's not like we're pulling an Ancient first or something and there's this question mark of, okay, these teams, especially like Epic Dudes, aren't necessarily like a full-time team that have been like together for a long time, and they're I think they are now, because you were saying yesterday, they're sort of transitioning into being like a full-time team, but they weren't previously. And there's this question mark on whether they've like done loads of preparation on Ancient over the last year or anything like that. Yeah, Dust 2, there's no excuses. Yeah, everybody knows Dust 2. If you're calling yourself a professional Counter-Strike team, then you've practiced Dust 2. You'll have a setup on Dust 2 for both sides. But yeah, as you say, it's a team that both teams play. Sorry, it's a map that both teams play, and they should be pretty comfortable with. So we'll see how things go. That's not relevant to us, don't worry.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see. Right now, I think we're just waiting for players to be ready on the server. They should be ready. But, yeah.
It always take ages to ready
It's always
up,
the thing with online CS. It's like, yeah, be on the server at this time. And it's like, yeah, but, like, I have to charge my mouse now. It's like, yeah, you should be doing that ahead of your game. But we had a tech break because of that as well.
I do that.
It really just comes down. Yeah, but
I'll be mid gunfight and then I go, my mouse has died.
But we're talking about professionals here.
What are you saying, Tyler? You say I'm not professional because I'm not. Terrible.
Yeah, but we'll have a look at how that actually goes, and of course, kind of wireless mouses have come as far as the fact that I've had that chat with Hayes earlier. Like my mouse, I charge my mouse like every 7 days, 8 days, 9 days, if even. But I'm not a hard gamer, so.
Yeah, yeah, the same for me, to be honest. But yeah, actually, I'm like crazy surprised how long this mouse lasts battery-wise. I just charge it whenever I'm mid-game and then it dies, and I go, oh no, it's dead, and then I'll put it on charge. But like, yeah, it's a good mouse. But yeah, it's been an interesting one, hasn't it, with tech pauses? And on online CS, there's not a lot we can do about it. If we were at LAN, you'd like go down to the stage and you'd be like, what are you guys doing? And you've got
call yourself a professional?
Call yourself a professional and start swinging hands. And I suppose you've got literal admins there as well, so if there's any tech problems or anything like that, they can literally fix it, and then there's kind of a bit more of a strict schedule. Whereas online, yeah, there's not a lot you can do if a player's struggling to connect to the server, or they're just taking their time or whatever. I suppose we could like move down a room in TeamSpeak and be like, hurry up, but that wouldn't be very professional.
Yeah, I also just don't see the players here in the TeamSpeak. I'm not sure if they are
they're somewhere else
as well, but I can't see them. I don't have enough permissions here. So, yeah, we'll have to see. For the moment, though, right now, of course, if you've just joined us, we're about to head in to our second semi-final. ATEX are already set. They just beat Big Academy in a best-of-3. 2-1, lost the first map, were able to return in fantastic fashion. And now we've got No Limit Gaming. They're also one of the high seed invite teams. How many tournaments have we casted where it's like, yeah, high seed invite teams come in a day after all the other teams, and then they just still bugger off in the first game? So
yeah, a lot. I
don't think it's going to happen though, because I think ATEX is still a higher caliber and more comparable. I think if it does come to a grand final between ATEX and No Limit Gaming though, if we can look that far ahead, I almost do want to say that I feel like ATEX is still going to be the stronger team.
Potentially so. It will be an interesting matchup for sure, won't it? I feel like the bracket was a little bit top-heavy in that regard, whereby, like, yeah, but I think Big Academy had sort of drawn the short straw a little bit in terms of their opponents. Bearing in mind they got the first seed, I think they would have much rather have played the winner of SSP and Epic Dudes rather than inevitably playing alternate attacks. But yeah, it will be an interesting matchup for sure. I think that one will be much closer. I'm expecting that to go to 3 maps. Yeah, that's going to be one to look forward to later on today. But, I mean, we're kind of jumping the gun again, aren't we? We're saying, oh yeah, it's going to be a really interesting matchup, but it might not be. If Epic Dudes cause an upset, then anything could really happen. But without further ado, it looks like we're going to be getting into game Dust 2. We get the nice scenic kind of cinematics, you know, all the parts of the map that you don't always get to see.
I mean,
oh, look at this.
Can see that
it's a beautiful map.
If somebody wants to go for ninja defuse or hide out while the long push is happening. Of course, here, no peeks
Can't
towards
down
mid anymore. But, I mean, the solution to this is dropping 2 men down into Suicide, boosting down there. And that can almost happen quickly enough. If you're like, if you have 2 really, really good spawns, you could still mess with your opponents. Right now, though, as Dust 2 is ready for us, we'll be looking forward to seeing how that pistol round is actually going to go underway. Car sure is also going to be an important position, as always, on Dust 2.
Yeah, one of those. Oh, here. Ah, see, look, there's a little chair. I bet you didn't know that was there, Tyler. Bet you'd never seen that little chair before.
Yeah, no. I mean, that's the place where I'd be hiding out, ready for a B push. We're ready for that second semi-final, though. Dust 2, our first map. Nuke and Overpass, our second and third. NLG's map pick. And we're heading straight into the action. Epic Dudes start things off on the CT side. And let's see what they can bring to the table. Certainly are the underdogs for this matchup. And No Limit Gaming, they only have one strat, and it seems to be Rush B.
Oh, I like the initiative on this play from Epic Dudes, though, trying to get up mid, but it's just a bloodbath on the B bomb site. Gim does well to defend, brings it into a 3-on-3, but there's a retake that now has to happen. Nino with a big headshot makes it starts things off. Oh my goodness, they're just completely obliterating it. No respect whatsoever, bombing it out of heaven, and just like that, Epic Dudes have brought it back.
Yeah, just, it seemed really relaxed. First to push in towards mid, they realized, okay, nobody is here. The push is happening over towards the B bomb site, and as soon as that happens, first of all, that hold from Gim was just insane, because he was over towards the bomb site, ready and waiting, fully blind for that second kill, and of course, is able to find 2 kills, bring his opponents down to just 3 men, and then, sure, the bomb plant just about comes through, thanks to Okalicious, but at the same time now, we talked about this boost. Red is trying to go for something, doesn't hit. And Kazuya is into bottom mid, was into lowers already, has to fall back. Marky's close range. Kazuya, though, in the meantime, finds Paddy. Now a secondary push should be his demise. Still finds it. Sigd to find Reds. It sure hurts. Nice and all to find a kill, but that's not going to be enough.
Kazuya. Oh, he is toying with them. Just continuing to jiggle with that MP9, despite being on 30 points of health, he doesn't care. Just keeps poking in, and he's found himself 3 kills for his troubles, and that's another $1,800 on top of that AK that he's picked up as well, so he's going to be very, very happy right now. Look at this again, just pokes out, there's the headshot, double dips, another headshot found, and then later on in the round he goes for a third. It's just fantastic.
Of course, the perfect start for Epic Dudes here on No Limit Gaming's map pick. They're back onto Deagles on the side of the T's, and of course just waiting, ready in anywhere to wait out those pushes. Deagle here for Perks. Not going to grab anything just yet. Okalicious, though, is going to grab Sync D. That is an all-important entry over towards that B bomb site, even though right now it doesn't seem like the T's actually want to go that route. Marky is first out as well. Him and Paddy both finding kills on the pistols. The Deagles, the P250s coming out true. And Kazuya, he's stuck in towards long. They're going to be checking that with Deagles. I'd much rather have a Deagle in a fight up against an MP9. There's now even weaponry recovered. The Deagles seal the deal, especially Okalicious.
Yeah, Sam right there, give us some respect, yeah? These last couple of rounds, okay, they haven't looked great for No Limit Gaming, but an eco round with just a couple of Deagles on them. And just some flawless shots, beautiful stuff, puts No Limit Gaming on the board pre-buy round as well. So that means that they can buy into this one, plus they've got all the extra cash that they saved just in case. So they've got some nice money behind them, getting down to this MP9. In fact, the CTs as a whole haven't got a great buy going into this one. Not a lot of utility. That could cause them some problems. 4 flashbangs left after the initial smokes have been thrown. And No Limit Gaming just have to kind of run down the clock a little bit, wait for these smokes to dissipate, and then they can pretty much get onto any bomb site for free.
Yeah, and I don't think it'll be entirely for free right now. Of course, the CT still have a decent hold going, especially towards the B bomb site of the map. However, right now, 2 players out in towards long already. The rotations are certainly coming around this way as well. Red wanting to win that fight. Right now, going back and forth already. The scout not coming through just yet. No damage dealt on the CT side just yet for against these Ts. Marquis still lurking towards upper B, ready and waiting in case Gim actually wants to push in. They're taking an awful amount of time. 40 seconds, of course, still to go. The push now happening. Gim drops Marquis. It's an AK that they can recover here as well, and right now the execution is happening over towards the A bomb site. Smokes are down, Molotovs are buying time. And still they should have the upper hand for the moment here. Kirby is going to be a vital part in this CT defense late into the round.
He absolutely will be, as this T4 going to be tapped in. Kirby. Perfect. No one's there to cover either, and yeah, as soon as Perks jumps up to try and retrieve it, he'll be taken out too. The long player, miles away from the action. The bomb wasn't planted for him either, so I'm not sure what his game plan was, but he's going to drop, and just like that, it goes 3-1. Epic Dudes back in the driver's seat, and a round that really they shouldn't be taking when you look at the initial investment. They had a scout, they had an MP9, they had no utility. They've done very well to pick that one up.
Yeah, just questionable decision-making also on behalf of NLG, just with their bomb plant as well. Not exactly the best position when you don't have any information towards short. You'd rather go safe in behind double box. You have control of long, can hold on to a bomb plant behind that as well. And right now, Marky looking into the AWP, seeing nades coming his way. And is going to switch out. After the initial peek doesn't work out, Epic Dudes here already. The nade damage yet again. Working wonders, even though Paddy opens up the killing spree and takes out Kazuya, running out into mid.
Well, with the man advantage, No Limit Gaming now have an open door here through mid, but oh, that's so well timed. Gim just waiting to hear that M4 be picked up, and then as soon as it is, calls for the flash, swings wide, back into a 4-on-4. Delicious will be able to trade it right back. Does take a think though, so Gim's done some good damage there as Kirby. Timing. Oh, this could be perfect, or he could just be a tad too late.
Well, at least he spots them out. He's been spotted as well, though, crucially, and Paddy is still behind that door. Might just be the bait that they need, and he's going to find that kill as well. Still a thorn in their side in towards mid, holding on to mid, finding that cross. Okolicious with that final kill to Syncty. That at least also showing that NLG, they might have been half asleep at the start of this map, but their headshots certainly seem to be on point now, and of course, the money was poor for the CTs to begin with. It's back down to pistols anyways. They force fully down into it.
That's kind of the thing with those flanks. Sometimes they work out really well. If he's a second earlier, you'll find himself at least 1 or 2 kills there. But unfortunately, Kirby just a tad too late. They've already gone through the doors. They're already going mid to B. The B site's completely empty, and there's really nothing Epic Dudes can do there. Marky needs to be aware. Gim's just to his right, and oh, he is, but Sync D's there to support. Man advantage. They've found the AK. They've kind of just got to drop off of that.
Especially, Gim tries to make it out. He gets naded. The AK is lost because of it. I'm not sure why Syncty wasn't aware of the player in towards mid. Paddy is at least going to be traded by Kazuya. The 1M4 that they do have onto a player that, of course, brings so much experience to the game as well. And to this team alongside Kirby. Red finds the player towards short. Even here, all about timing. Kirby almost seems to have his spidey senses tingling at the fact that Perks is still just around the corner. Shouldn't have seen a shadow just yet, but Molotov is certainly forced him out of position.
Oh.
Kazuya had been spotted as well. Kirby's so lucky to not be burning in that corner. I would have burned alive by now.
So cruel, that silencer just pokes around that corner. Causes Kazuya some problems. The issue is this looks like some decent damage for Deagles, but this is actually a full investment for them. They've not got any money left behind them, but it'll definitely be an eco in the next. Kirby has found himself an AK, maybe wants to do some further damage, and it's definitely on the cards as the Orc's looking the wrong way. Swings wide, there we go, headshot found. C4.
Going for it.
Yeah, he wants to have a crack at this.
Slightly too late, but he finds Okolicious, and now Perks is out of position, has a long ways to go. Yes, it's a 10-second defuse, but Kirby, he's just going for it. Perks thinks he's faking, but Kirby doesn't fake. The defuse comes through, and Epic Dudes win the round because of him. Massive round from him after only having a Deagle waiting out in towards long, and he was the ghost that No Limit Gaming were looking for. All working out on the defuse. We love to see it.
A round like that as well not only is going to tilt No Limit Gaming, but it's going to kind of teach them a lesson almost, yeah? They're not going to be making that mistake again, and that's what happens when you become a little bit complacent. 3 versus 1, you're pretty sure that the final man's just going to save. You've last seen him over towards long, and the bomb's been planted B, but they weren't expecting Kirby to retrieve that AK in mid and actually pull off a 3v1 like that. I mean, it's so unfortunate. Paddy's on the other side of the map. Okolicious trying to connect that first shot, takes a lot of damage in the meantime though. And once again, Epic Dudes, despite the fact they've got the lead and they won last round, their buy isn't great here, but they have seemed to thrive in these kind of situations where they've got a couple of MP9s in play, and Kirby might be able to pick off one here.
Waiting for anything that he can. Kirby already finding one, looking for a second. He's going to be granted.
Oh,
How
Kirby.
are they not checking this? After clutching the previous, now already on a 4K, up against Rifles no less, and the ace. Not sure where he found that, but that's exactly why Kirby, after so many years of experience, is still playing as well.
Man, he's playing whack-a-mole here. Look at this. The heads just continue to poke up, and he just continues tapping them away. That is absolutely beautiful. It doesn't get a lot better than that. Kirby's got to be feeling good after a round like that. And, well, 5-2, No Limit Gaming calling a pause. I'm not surprised. Things are not going well for them so far here on Dust 2.
But it's just down to Kirby finding 10 kills already. Yeah, that's one way to do it. 5-2 here at the start. No Limit Gaming, when it came down just raw kills, they almost had it down. Decision making, I would say, is still kind of their weak point, almost. And just haven't been able to respond to whatever Epic Dudes throw their way.
Yeah, sometimes it's just about reacting in certain situations, isn't it? I mean, this is just going to be a clean-up round against these Glocks, but when it comes to spotting him out of towards, sure, okay, gets the first kill. How do we react to that? Are we going to kind of try and trade it, and then if that doesn't work, then we fall away? Or are we just going to keep peeking him one by one? And that's what they do last round. It's just a massive mistake. They continue to think that they're going to get the trade, we're going to get the trade, we're going to get the trade. They just keep facing him one by one by one, and they just feed him that ace. And there's so many better ways to play that situation. Gim, he's just farming right now, knowing that he's the one man on the MP9, wants to try and get as many kills as he can with it to get that cash racked up, and he's done exactly that. $7,000 in the bank. He could upgrade off of it, but by the looks of things, he's going for a bit of a bonus.
Yeah, I think he just doesn't care, and I think that just ties into confidence on behalf of Epic Dudes right now as well. Might not have been expecting to be in this spot, but at the same time, everything kind of working out. Sure, in the previous it was kind of easy. We'll see. He's actually still sticking to it. So no further buy. Plenty of money for him there already. Nino in towards long is going to find the first one onto Paddy. Almost had the timing down to find the second dropping into pits. But they're at least going to be aware of Okolicious being somewhere towards pit. Nino trying to go for a check. Deeper in. Not expecting him to already be this close. No respect whatsoever from Okolicious, as he's now started to push further on. Syncty with the trade. Kirby, smoke doesn't phase him. Finds a kill, is going to get traded, but already look at this. Gim is in behind. You can hear the steps, he doesn't care. Probably would have been better off just waiting on them.
Yeah, he really didn't need to face there. I think he was thinking that they were actually running up long. As soon as they stepped back, there was no need for him to swing. If he'd have just stayed behind the door, he'd have had all the information that they were pincered in. He could have played that one much better. Now that smoke in place, SyncD not able to hit the cross. And it's a 2v2, very winnable here for the T side.
Yeah, and right now Molotovs, they've learned from their mistakes, not going to go for a dangerous plant this time out. However, SyncD already here from short. Marky to hit that headshot though, so important for him and his team, as right now it's all going to be down to Kazuya. Waiting, does find the first one, surely not the second, as he has 15 HP. Time on the side of NLG. And Marky, of course, is going to pick up that final kill. 3 for him in the round there as well. Had a weaker start at the beginning. But those 3 catapults him ahead to 4 kills in total. But this here was so important. The initial approach play from Okalicious as well opened things up. And then, of course, Marky was so big. That second headshot towards short, just too strong, and he is able to shut things down.
It's a great round from Marky, and unfortunately just a couple of mistakes made there by Epic Dudes. Nino dropping off the car just at the wrong moment means that his bullets are completely inaccurate, but Gim, oh my goodness. I actually love the way Gim plays. He was doing stuff like this yesterday as well. Always being that thorn in their side, always going for these little aggressive prods. And you just don't expect it at all. Red's just fallen, and there's literally seconds into the round.
Yeah, especially battling an op with an M4A1S at the top of that smoke into Xbox's crazy stuff at least. And Red, they almost line up for Kirby. Plenty of damage dealt. They expect a second player. Nino is there as well towards long. They're never going to be checking Kazuya. And there you go, double shutdown from him. As he had great discipline at the start, and all going to be down to Okalicious.
Oh man.
Not even going to be good enough for 1 kill. 4 players staying alive. Kirby the only one to drop. But a tremendous start from Epic Dudes.
Yeah, I mean, that's amazing from Gim. Just the initiative to go for that peak. Kirby, whilst he doesn't find any kills, he gets a lot of valuable information, does a lot of damage, and Kazuya just plays that masterfully. I mean, it's such a kind of interesting play to go for there as well, to say, okay, we're playing too long, one of you go aggressive, I'm going to stay behind the door, so that if you take contact and die, they will never expect me to be here. And yeah, it actually works out really, really nicely. Not necessarily something they can do again, next time it'll be anticipated, but it wins them the round regardless.
Yeah, and this should just pretty much be a straightforward shutdown. Sure, Kazuya dies in towards lowers, and even Okalicious is able to find a secondary onto Nino. But in the meantime has dropped. Kirby is looking for that final. It will be Gim. Just all about skimming off the top, finding kills, finding shutdowns, making sure that NLG aren't going to fire anything up on those pistols. They're going to be back to rifles now anyways. It seems like the confidence is certainly here for Epic Dudes, and the Dudes are at 8 rounds here already. That's lead into halftime confirmed for them. How big can the lead still get? We're saying, of course, prior to the game getting underway, we're expecting more something along the lines of an 8-7 or 9-6 into halftime. Nobody was expecting NLG to not find a footing into this game.
Yeah, I mean, I suppose Epic Dudes are warmed up. Yeah, that's kind of one thing going their way. They played yesterday. I mean, that doesn't really count as warmed up, does it? But either way, Nino's going to fire that opening pick over towards B. Does miss the second shot, but they're fully blinded. Nice flick onto the second. One coming to his left. He's not going to be ready for it, but to be honest, he's done his job there as the B anchor. He's done very, very well. Delayed enough time for his teammates to come in. And, oh, they're just missing their shots, but good damage dealt regardless.
Yeah, and right now still post-plant super difficult. Not exactly the best positions for NLG just yet. Nobody can flank in any of these positions. Kazuya is going to be coming in from tunnels. However, already being held onto. It'll all come down to timing here from Marky. Is staying on the angle for now. Waiting for that final call. Red holding on. Perks holding on. So is Marky. 4th round here for NLG. An important one, but now they want to get rounds in succession, not just individual ones, as the next buy-up is already happening for Epic Dudes.
Yeah, that's all they've found so far, isn't it? Actually, individual rounds completely spread out. They've not been able to string more than one together. This is kind of now their opportunity to do so. But still 8-4. This is so much more than just an initial stint of rounds off of the back of the pistol for Epic Dudes. They're looking really strong. They did this yesterday. They took sort of 5 in a row. They went like 5-0 up on Overpass against SSP, and then that completely fell away. When we started to see them leading on Nuke, we were thinking, okay, we're just seeing sort of the same again, until they just continued to run away with it further and further and further. And I think there's a real opportunity for that to happen again here. They're still on a buy. It's very fragile. Yeah, there's not a lot of utility. Kazuya's only down to a 5-7, but it certainly could be sufficient. And if they win it, then they put No Limit Gaming in a fairly similar position. You just need to be careful here. Flash dropped over to Kazuya, and they're kind of gambling a little bit on this A site.
Yeah, and of course, with reason as well. It's not like there's no control towards long right now for the T's. They're trying to regain some of it right now. The flashbang pre-fire from Red doesn't quite work out just yet. Finally now finding Nino. That is certainly something that will bind players towards the A bomb site right now. However, of course, we know more. 3 T's already over towards B. And Gim is still the magic player to be trying to hold on. Red drops to Sync D. As now the execution is happening. Gim already into a dangerous spot now. The flashbang could buy him a little bit more, but it won't.
Yeah, Gim's kind of caught with his pants down there a little bit, isn't he? And it's unfortunate. They're here on the fast flank, but a 4 versus 2 here on the B site, surely not possible. And as Okalicious finds that one, it surely just has to be a save call here from Kazuya. I mean, that's a real shame for me, and obviously we can see everything. Yeah, we've got the X-ray, so it's very easy to just kind of pull out the hindsight. But when they've taken long control and there's no presence except for the AWPer in pit for like a full 40 seconds, that should be alarm bells. Yeah, if nobody else is facing alongside that AWPer, you're not hearing any other presence, no further nades being thrown, the cross smokes haven't been thrown or anything like that, and you're that far into the round, alarm bells should certainly be ringing. Marky, there's no way that that Kazuya's expecting him in pit there, so it is going to be a 5th round here on the board for No Limit Gaming as they start to close this gap.
Yeah, and right now at least it's one way for them to respond and a way to get back into the game before it really escalating. Yes, the lead was big already, but at the same time, Epic Dudes, every single time they lost 2, 3, 4 players at times, and right now, Syncty onto Doolies, Gim onto a P250 and a Deagle out for Kirby. Big stack over towards the B bomb site right now. Doesn't seem like it will be working out. The T's could have even heard something there moving up towards the B bomb site. Are certainly taking their time. But that Molotov in towards short suggests that they're not well aware of anything that's happening. Delicious could be in trouble. At least makes out alive. The hunt, of course, is going to be on. They do drop him in behind.
Well, that's a big indication that NLG can just go over to the A site. Yeah, Okalicious is sort of the sacrifice to get that information. Now the round is theirs for sure. They can tap these digits in over on A, and yeah, they should just be able to comfortably pick this one up. They shouldn't even really be hunting here either. Like, Epic Dudes will have enough money to buy into the next round. They can justify sort of extending their wings a little bit out of this site, clear a path to exit from. But I'd be surprised if they venture as far as the T-spawn just to take away this AK-47, because it's not really worth it.
Especially not when they still have money on their side. They can build up more of that. Only need to drop Okalicious right now. If they have to reinvest a further weapon, then that, of course, gets a whole lot more difficult. And right now, bomb's going to go up. Timer is pretty tight after that anyways, so of course, 6 rounds for NLG. 7 certainly on the board for the last round of the first half. The hunt still seems to be on, but it won't come through in time.
That football was under some kind of like voodoo magic. Do you see that? It was just rolling around by itself, back and forth. That was a weird one. Either way. 8-6. 8-7 half, definitely on the cards now. No Limit Gaming with an economic advantage going into the final round. Nino, no opportunity to pull out that AWP. He's been a little bit quiet with it on this first half, to be honest. Especially considering it's Dust 2 CT side. Your AWPer is normally that kind of star player. Marky finding a big opening though. Kazuya Been a very integral player so far. He drops early.
Yeah, and still, the rest of the team could figure this out right now. Kirby trying to go aggressive as well, alongside that smoke. He's going to be ahead of it. Flashbang in towards mid. 3 players still checking it from Epic Dudes. Power comes in numbers, it seems like. However, Delicious ready to shut everybody down. Only finds 1. The trade is there, an AK to be recovered. Now, that's the catalyst for the execution over towards A Long. Of course, Skim is still over towards short. The free fire works out nicely, even though it doesn't deal any damage. It keeps them at bay. Red now in towards Long could be in trouble. Support already happening though. Marky is coming through. The flashbang was nice. Red onto the Tech 9. He doesn't seem to care. And it's 8-7 at half. No Limit Gaming certainly redeeming themselves here towards the end of the first half. Seemed half asleep at the start.
Yeah, I mean, that's a half that Epic Dude should be happy with, but I think they will be a little bit frustrated. They've let 4 slip at the end there. I mean, remember, this was 8-3 at one point. So, yeah, letting 4 in a row drop like that is going to be a little bit frustrating. That could have been a much more one-sided half for them. I think they would have been hoping for maybe double digits at that 8-3 stage. Just need to keep their heads high, though. Moving over to the T side. Arguably, I think the T side's a tad easier on Dust 2 to play sometimes. Depends who you're playing against, I suppose. We'll have to see how they do.
Yeah, of course, a start into the second half will be so very important for them. NLG now on the CT side. It is their own map pick, but of course Dust 2, a map that everybody plays, where really map picks don't really make a difference, where you never really see a team massively dominating because they play the map better, but more just how can they react to the plays from the other side, and also, well, just raw skill, and they seem to be pretty well matched at this point in time.
For sure, yep. Oculicious with this USP in lower mid. He's playing a dangerous game right now, to be honest, especially with Kazuya jump spotting. He's surely seen one at this point. Even if he hasn't, they've definitely heard it. Kim's going to take first contact. That Glock rattling away. Does eventually find the headshot, but Paddy's going to take one back. That's Syncd dropping, and Kirby opens up the door on the B site. The lurk is perfect, and there you go. There's an opportunity.
Yeah, he's still so strong, and the P250 still going, and no response just yet. Perks is still close and ready, and as Nino comes in from mid, it's just so difficult. The bomb would have made its way over towards the A site. Perfect lurk, really great engagement there, and of course, that is going to be second pistol to Epic Dudes as well. And NLG, double scout coming out immediately. I'm ready for this to go crazy on Scouts and Deagles. Maybe just soften things up with one or the other and then finish it off. On the other weapon, Oculicious, not successful just yet. Nino on the other side. The player that he's challenging top mid. Oh, Perks. It's time. Smoke now to come out. However, yeah, no real engagement just yet. No damage dealt apart from the early one towards Oculicious. Information still to be found. Nice little nade. But it's Kazuya to open things up. Nino in behind as well to finally now find the kill onto Oculicious, and this pretty much should wrap up the competitive side of this round. It's just a question of how many players can Epic Dudes keep alive. What can NLG still do? Marky, of course, trying to push through. There's a player behind the next door, but he's lurking, and there are not too many players around after that. So that's going to be his ultimate demise. Gim to find him. Red holding on, but Syncd to find that as well. All going to be down to Perks. And Josh, it was kind of to be expected to go down this way. But I was expecting them to find at least one.
Yeah, I mean, this has been a really weak force buy, hasn't it, from NLG? As you say, you do kind of expect it to go the way of the T's. They've got a significantly better buy in this scenario. But when you're investing into a round with Deagles and armor and whatnot, you're expecting to find a bit of damage. They've hit Kirby and Synced down low. I suppose it's unfortunate they haven't been able to finish either off. But yeah, not a single kill. I mean, that's certainly rough. Epic Dudes, they really need to not hunt here. I mean, they've had a fantastic round. If they can keep everybody alive, they're going to be against an eco in the next. There's no need to hunt for this Deagle. Perks really isn't going to be too much of a threat with it going forward, and he can be a bit of a threat now and try and get rid of some of these guns, as he's doing.
Yeah, and right now it would be great, because Kazuya already coming in from behind. They had him pincered from both sides. And with that now, double digits being put up by Epic Dudes already. And a great response here as well. Getting the replays of those kills just goes to show again how difficult some of those were to hit and how well Epic Dudes are still playing right now. And of course, it's all about who moves on to the grand final. Sure, it's only map 1. Epic Dudes right now looking to be the stronger side, though, here in the second round of the ANATY Invitational. And of course, Atex already set. And they made it pretty clear that they're expecting No Limit Gaming to be their opponent.
Is that what they said in the interview earlier?
Yeah.
I didn't get to catch it. Okay, alright. Maybe they're in for a surprise, because as things are going, No Limit Gaming are losing their map pick. I actually really like Dust 2 as well, at like a professional level, because at a lower level, and just generally at face value, Dust 2 is like a very basic map, is kind of almost like the baseline for like competitive Counter-Strike maps, isn't it? It's very, very basic. You've got an A site, a B site, a middle. It's kind of what started it all. Ooh, that's a nice headshot to get things going, though. But yeah, at a higher level, there's some interesting stuff you can do. That boost down into lower tunnels that we saw last round can be fantastic. What is going on? They're pushing it all the way through. Synced, how has he not heard the bombs down in spawn? Oh my goodness,
oh, no.
Tyler. What are they doing? I thought this would just be a
what
cleanup.
NLG are doing, but at the same time, Epic Dudes, of course, a major problem on their side right now. Bomb still down, certainly a chance to be recovered. Kirby's down at 29. He drops him at 30 HP.
Oh,
and
wow.
then Red finds Kazuya.
What a horrible round to lose.
How are you allowed to do that?
That's atrocious. That is absolutely atrocious. I don't understand that at all.
Okay. I guess.
I mean, NLG have played it well, yeah? At the end of the day, they've got nothing to lose. They're just on pistols, they're going to send it up mid. I think the biggest problem is the fact that the bomb's still in spawn. Synced's kind of just still holding top mid with a MAC-10. He should be hearing everybody bombing it up suicide, and he's just kind of not reacted to it at all, thinking he can take on all 5 by himself. That is just a really, really poorly played round from Epic Dudes, and as soon as they've kind of been hit with this mid-aggression, they've just not known how to react. They've completely stagnated, and it's all gone wrong. I mean, look at that. Synced, he should have heard them coming from a mile away, especially after his teammate died. Where's that information being relayed?
Yeah, at the same time, I do have to say, I mean, great stuff from Red and Okalicious to still hit those headshots on the scouts. They will remain on 1 scout. Red upgrading to the AWP, and then 2 M4s along to the Galil. Not the best setup. But Epic Dudes, they're on 4 AKs, they have a scout themselves. Not exactly the best, and surely their pride, at the very least, was hurt from that previous round. Maybe even their confidence just slightly. Important stuff here. Red, again, aggressive. That smoke giving him coverage from lower tunnels. However, already certainly dangerous. Makes out alive, though. And no big chase on from Kazuya.
Oh, nice shot.
Massive headshot, though.
Yeah, that's huge from Kazuya. A bit of a pre-fire spot, to be honest. When an AWPer takes an initial pick over towards short, he's either going to be over towards that kind of railing area, or he's going to have fallen all the way back down to CT or site. So Kazuya just kind of takes a bit of a guess at it. Really nice headshot into the 4-on-4, and they are actually aggressing up short here. 3 players trying to walk up Cat. Paddy hasn't spotted any of them yet. Surely heard them, but it's too late. Kirby, execution onto both. That is clean as they come. 20 kills to his name here on Dust 2. He's playing out of his mind.
Yeah, and only 11 deaths as well for the moment. He's rocking a just about above 1 KPR. That's crazy to go as well. Nino is going to find Okalicious, all going to be down to Perks. Yeah, I don't think that anybody expected it. Right now, Epic back onto 11. As NLG, sure, they were able to find 1 round against all odds, but then concede the next straight after. Perks is able to find Kazuya, trying to hunt down. AK upgrade certainly going to happen as well. But apart from that, it is still Epic Dudes, certainly the stronger side. Sure, this opening was great for Red. Kazuya, perfect pre-fire as you said, but Kirby, these 2 headshots, pretty swift. Nino, great adjustment. And I feel like Epic Dudes right now would deserve to win Dust 2.
Yeah, for sure. It's actually going to be really sort of hard to watch and got to be hard for them if they do let this slip away. I feel like this is their best chance to actually take this series. If they can take this first map, of course, it's their opponent's pick. Going into Nuke next, this is a really fantastic opportunity for them, but Marky up close, not letting them through that smoke. Dodges the flash beautifully as well. 2-man advantage. Nino needs to try and bite back, and no, can't flick that hard. Red's on it.
Yeah, very strong kill from Red as well, due to the fact that before that he hadn't been too strong, if we're honest as well. Smoke coming through, Kirby still finds a kill just before that blooms. And it's nice and all, but it leaves Kazuya in a 1v4. To get back onto it, I mean, yeah, Red, not exactly the best first half. C side AWPing might be a little bit more difficult than CT side AWPing, but at the same time, we know how strong he can be. But right now, they had to rely a little bit more onto their rifles, especially onto Okalicious. Markian has certainly had his moments. Especially the early entries seem to have been taken by Okalicious a little bit more. Have been quite strong. It's sure nice for Kazuya to find a couple of kills here and there, but it's back to pistols for the Epic Dudes. 2 Deagles, 3 P250s. And the push is on. 1 player towards long, the other just rushed straight down short over towards the A bomb site.
Oh, Syncdy had a good lineup there as well.
What?
And my goodness, they've just done it. Yeah, Syncdy's played that beautifully. The smoke on the corner along means he can get right up to it. As he hears them running away, goes for the peek. Oh, Nino needs to hit this shot, and he does. Kazuya's there to support him. It's traded, but the man advantage. The C4 down. They should be able to find a couple of guns here. Where are they? There we go. There's an AK. There's an M4 retrieved. Kazuya, be careful. Oh, he's found the kill regardless. What a round.
Yeah. Crazy to turn it back around. Massive kills, of course, from Kirby and also SyncD. Weapons to be recovered. Op surely is going to remain on the CT sides. Okalicious still fighting. Yeah, right now that bomb is going to go up. Op, as we said, is going to be recovered. Full belt of utility for Okalicious already here, set and ready for the next round. But boy, what was this from SyncD? The focus from Marky was firmly towards shorts. And that opening from Kirby was strong as well. Well, well, well. Epic Dudes at 12.
Another tilt round there as well then. A couple of those have gone Epic Dudes' way. Where No Limit Gaming have lost against some pistols, a round that they really shouldn't be letting slip. Nino starting to pick it up as well. Big kill from him. Nice anticipation that they might push into lowers. Now he needs to expect another, and yeah, SyncD's there to support. Beautiful stuff. Epic Dudes with a 2-man advantage. Surely they don't let this round slip.
Yeah, I just don't see it happening. Okalicious not hitting his initial shot. Marky's there for one, but only one, of course. Already was in between 2 players. Red still finding Kirby, keeping the team in the game. A scout and an op to try and hold on to this round. It seems like Epic Dudes do still want to go over towards the B bomb site. Nino and SyncD are coming back around. Gim is coming up from lower. And right now, sure, the rotation path isn't all too long for Okalicious, but it might just be too little too late. By the time that they're on the bomb site, they're going in quiet. He's now started to push in towards mid, see nothing. guess what? The T's have full control. As soon as you hear that, as soon as that smoke blooms, bomb is already going to be well on its way. Okalicious, though, re-enters back. Good showing from him, but only one.
Ooh.
And Reds sure brings it back to a 1v1. And he's quick!
Ooh.
Big flick to bring it back. And an all-important round for NLG. If they lose that, then it could certainly be not only 13, but also 14-15 for Epic Dudes. This right now keeps the door open, and No Limit Gaming are only 2 rounds away from pulling things level. Josh, I see this going very, very dark for Epic Dudes.
That was a bad round to lose.
Yeah.
That was a seriously bad round to lose. They had all the advantages. It was a 5 versus 3, then it was a 4v2. They've let Red find 3, and in the 2 versus 1 on the B site, yeah, it's no surprise that Red has an AWP. I don't know why they're peeking in that scenario. 2v1, you've got the bomb down on B, Red's coming from doors with a sniper. Just don't peek him. The bomb was planted open as well. They had so much opportunity to just hide. That is those kind of high pressure situation mistakes that are made. You're not really thinking, you just go off of intuition, and yeah, that's a rough round to lose. That is a really rough one. It could be 13-9 right now, and instead the gap's only 2.
Yeah, that's the point. Sure, Epic Dudes, they're back to rifles. At the same time, look at the utility. What do they have remaining? 2 flashbangs, a Molotov, and a smoke? And not really in a position to bring everything together. Kazuya still in towards mid, the flashbangs and the Molotov are on Nino in towards long now. And the CTs have left this open for quite a while and are now coming back though in perfect timing as well. Marky needs to work close angles with that MP9. It's going to be super, super difficult, but if anybody can pull it off, then maybe he can. The info is there, the push is on. Marky finding damage, finding kills, Paddy to finish things off as well. And remember, they had weaponry at their disposal on the side of Epic Dudes, but the kills come through in favor of NLG. As Paddy picks up Gimp and Red finds Kazuya. That's 4 players staying alive for the CTs. And I feel like NLG might have just stayed alive for long enough and come back into this at the exact right time.
Yeah, they've not left it too late, have they? 12-11, no money left on Epic Dudes. This might be that turning point where things all go wrong. They've fought unbelievably hard, but now they're just down to the pistols. They're going to have to try and bite back with a tied scoreline. It really feels like, what, the first time this game that we'll see a tied scoreline, in fact. No Limit Gaming are starting to find their way again, I think.
Yeah, especially now they're taking more control. They have full control of that B bomb site, can decide to rotate away. Maybe even going for a push there on Perks? Unsure. But certainly now Okalicious is rotating back in towards mid, 3 players towards long, as you usually play it towards the A bomb site as well. Perks ready to meet them! And the info is there as well, and surely 1 kill is not going to be enough to end that immediately. But can give the info on, stop them for a good second or so. And I don't see Epic Dudes bringing this one back. NLG have to fail in a major way for them to give this round up. Red waiting patiently.
Ooh.
He's here for it.
It's an important shot to hit. Needs to
There
follow up for the second. What a flick. I mean, Red's starting to feel it now, yeah. He hasn't had a lot of opportunity with that AWP. Like, on that T side, we didn't see him pulling it out too much in the early stages of the CT half as well. They didn't have a huge amount of cash. They were being reset quite a lot. Finally, he's kind of got this opportunity to play this AWP every round, and he's doing unbelievably well with it. He's hitting some fantastic shots.
Yeah, great flicks as well. And, of course, took that opportunity.
Yeah. I used to have an Asimov called that.
Around.
The opportunity.
Yeah.
I didn't name it. Got it from CSGO Lounge or something.
Right now, smoke is down towards upper B. It seemed like Epic Dudes were pretty set to just move through if no utility comes flying. But they've taken a interest as soon as that nade comes through. They know that there might only be one player. And if the nade is already expended, then that is certainly a little bit of utility that they can't bring. Nino with a massive headshot onto Okalicious that opens up the B bomb site. We know how difficult retaking B usually is. As soon as it's set, Perks jumps out.
Wow.
A little bit too aggressive for my liking. And Paddy, I think they're saving.
That's just so bizarre from Perks. I mean, he's got to be tilted right now. He's called for the flash so that he can peek in, and he's just been fully blinded by it. I don't know if that's him not turning the flash properly, or if the flash just kind of not popping where he's expecting it to. But yeah, being fully blinded, he's just dropped onto the site, and there's literally nothing he can do there whatsoever. That's a really rough round for No Limit Gaming, but a very, very important one for Epic Dudes. We kind of stress the importance of winning this round after they've dropped the last couple. Kind of puts them back in the picture, back in the lead, continues this pressure as well, yeah? Like, there's been a hell of a lot of pressure on No Limit Gaming throughout this entire map so far because they've constantly been on the back foot. They've not been able to take the lead at any point. This is the first time they've actually been able to tie up the game, and within a minute, they've already lost that again.
Yeah, of course, massive entry from Nino as well. Difficult times for Okalicious, who is fully blinded in that push, but of course NLG, they do have weaponry, they do have this round potentially to win, and it is certainly as close as it can be right now. Let's see, as you guys have a chance to grab a €5 voucher in Skin Baron. These guys are on the flashbang ready for Marquee, just a little bit too late as Nino didn't waste any time whatsoever in his push in towards long. That has fallen. 4 players out, 5th already on their way. But it's only going to be an attack from long. And NLG have forces over towards the A site right now. I'm surprised that they're not pushing in from behind, but they don't have a lurker going. Counter Molotovs here as well. Smoke down for Paddy to give him a little bit of space to work with. They're fully committed towards this A bomb site now. No need for rotation. They're already here. Kirby, though! 2 big headshots! Opens things up. And might have even sealed the deal here for the round to go to the Epic Dudes. Perfect nades to try and counter him, but he stays alive. And I'm sorry, but I think LG just are left saving now.
I mean, that's so bizarre to watch from the CT's perspective as well. We're kind of set up, ready for some big kills, yeah? You've got this AWP tucked in Gandalf behind this smoke, very, very tight angle. You're thinking, okay, as soon as someone peeks into it, we'll see some resistance here. And Kirby just flies out, sniffs them all out of their positions, and one-taps every single one of them. 14 to 12. We'll see a hard save here. Epic Dudes, I think they might actually be able to do this.
Yeah, I'm starting to believe right now as well, especially with the fact that, I mean, NLG were just hesitant to really go for rotation around. They had the information, they knew that players were out towards long. Sure, they can always rotate back, but they were always also hesitant to try and peek towards long, and as soon as players start to cross, it becomes so much more difficult. Sure, the entry from Nino was tremendously strong, and Kirby, that second shot is naughty as well from him. But he's quick to react, he's quick on those headshots, and there's a reason why he's on 25 kills right now.
Absolutely. I mean, it was Kazuya, the man that was putting up the big numbers yesterday, actually, against Sissy State Punks. He was sort of averaging like 25 frags a game. I think there was one on the Inferno map. He got like 33 or something like that. He was playing very, very well. But yeah, Kirby's really stepped up to the plate today, kind of recognizing the importance of this matchup, recognizing the importance of this first map within this series as well. And yeah, he's just going huge. If he can carry this kind of momentum and this kind of skill into the next map as well, I think they've got a really good chance of taking this. I mean, remember that the next map in this series is Nuke. It's their map pick, and it's one that they absolutely dominated on yesterday.
Yeah, so let's see if they can maybe even do it in 2. We were expecting this one to only go to 2.
Maybe not this way round.
Rather the other way around, yeah. Right now, game already out towards long. At least they've retreated this time already. Marquis is back towards the bomb site. This is an angle that suits him very well. Doesn't Doesn't matter if he has a rifle or only an MP9, as we've seen earlier. I like the push in towards mid. Just wonder if it is going to be enough. Red in behind to try and support as well. No, nice little hold, but Okalicia's coming out on top. He's down at 13. But unaware that there's nobody else in that area of the map right now. Paddy's starting to push up short. A catwalk further down in towards mids. Oh, they're rotating away from the A-bomb site though. They're sending Perks back towards B. Giving up control on mid. 3 players still here, but 2 from CT. And we know how difficult it is to try and defend from CT spawn. Tough decision on the side of NLG. And Epic Dudes do wait an age and a half before they fight. But Kirby, yet again finding headshots. He's just been so strong today. Paddy dropping, continuing with Red. Falling back, giving them space to hang themselves. NLG yet again on a save. And Josh, I think they might have just pulled the final straw.
Yeah, me too, to be honest. I mean, map point secured. Worst case scenario, it's overtime, but they've got 3 shots to try and take this over the edge. No Limit Gaming, a very, very important save here. I think Epic Dudes should be hunting hard right now. They are. They know that if they can take out these 3 rifles, that's it. It's game over. They've got plenty... Oh, no, they're not hunting. They're just exiting out of pit. I mean, they've got enough money to justify a hunt here, but maybe they don't want to. Maybe they want to keep that cash behind them so that they can fully invest into these next 3 rounds if they need it. It's fair enough. I think they can do this, though. Kirby is just once again playing out of his mind. Look how crisp these shots are.
Yeah, he's so insane. And of course, I mean, he's one of those guys as well. Not only does he play it at a very high competitive level, he's still one of those guys that throws on the stream for 4, 5, 6 hours in a day. It just kind of hangs out, frags like crazy, talks to chat. And yeah, just always great to see Marky right now at least find the first one onto Kazuya. Perks is here, ready and waiting. Triple for him, finally a response. The flashbang was perfect as well. 4K from his side. As NLG do not want to drop just yet. Maybe, just slightly maybe. Reckless on the side of Epic Dudes. But a great hold from Perks. Not easy to hit all of those shots. And of course, at least still a chance. 2-round difference. 2 more chances for Epic Dudes to finish this one off. They do have another full buy here. And decent amount of money in reserves.
Well, 2 rounds that separate these 2 sides. As you say, a bit reckless from Epic Dudes in the last. I kind of understand the initiative just to say, let's just bomb it B. Let's just try and get this done and catch them off guard. But it's not worked at all. So reeling it back, playing it a little bit slower as they were before. Definitely the right answer here. Nino waiting for the aggression. I'm not sure if he saw the barrel poke out there. Perhaps not. Either way. His teammates working their way into mid. Nade stacking short. Not going to connect for anything. But yeah, I like this. Slower, methodical CS.
And Red still find the first one onto Nino. Very important in towards long, and of course that has been the strongest position for Epic Dudes throughout this game. I feel like every single time that they went long over towards the A-bomb site, they ended up winning the round. Of course, NLG giving them a whole lot of space over there every single time. Now they're trying to change things up, trying to still find some sort of success. Nino, of course, as we said, was the first to drop. Nice little nade in towards short. Doesn't do as much damage as I expected. But Kirby is into 1-hit headshot potential for the 2 M4s as well. Especially Paddy, that might be first to face towards that area of the map. Smoke's now coming out. Molotov towards the bomb site. Pushes on. And the CT seems set. The counter Molotov as well, keeping them at bay. Just putting the brakes on that push for a little. Marky vital towards long, spots both players out, falls back, gives them space. However, Red is needed and he shows up. Paddy as well. And NLG want to push this to OT.
Well, another fantastic round, and it puts Epic Dudes in a really tough spot, actually. Nino hasn't got money. I think there might be enough for him to get a drop here, but he's not going to have util behind it. And yeah, this is where it gets complicated. I mean, Kazuya just walked with his back completely turned. He's looking to try and wide swing the player in pit, completely neglecting the fact that there are players on long. No one's kind of thrown a flash or anything. Look at all that util that's been left in squad as well for those retake nades. Is it back to old-fashioned? Back towards the B site. They're having a lot of success on it earlier. Can they do the same now? Okalicious, or this nade could be perfect, and there it is.
Yeah, the Molotov might just be slightly late, but he's there on the spray down, a little bit panicked, but he is going to burn alive to sink D. Down to a 3-on-3, and right now, timing for Kirby is going to be crazy. He's coming in from T-spawn. Patty is sure here, but Kirby hits that headshot. He's still recovering that bomb, and Marky needs to be aware. Kirby has some sort of sixth sense. I don't know how, but Nino is there as well for the headshots. I think they might just do it in the very last instance. All going to be down to red. 1v3, try to retake it. Nino's going to get it. And what a game we've seen here on the first map, on the map pick of NLG. And against our expectations, Epic Dudes come out on top.
Yeah. Yeah.
Kirby's insane.
He is insane. Yeah, I was waiting for you to say something else there. But yeah, no, that was fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. 16-14. I wasn't sure in that final round, I'll be honest. I was really expecting us to go to OT. I was really surprised they left the bomb behind in spawn as well. But Kirby's just played that to the T, as he has done throughout the whole game. Yeah, he's played fantastic throughout that map. That final round was just played beautifully. Very, very smart player, and it really, really does just ooze out of him and really shows. So, incredible stuff from Epic Dudes against all odds. They take their opponent's map pick. There's an opportunity here, Tyler, for them to get it done in 2 maps, and I just can't believe it.
Yeah, and I feel like aim-wise, both teams were really, really tightly matched. Of course, Kirby absolutely carrying his team through, surely. But at the same time, it was also just minor mistakes that seemed to have big repercussions, I almost feel like, on the side of NLG. I'd love to go into deeper analysis than that, but yeah, I just don't see it. If NLG don't switch something up, if they don't find some sort of way to counter Epic Dudes, then being the favorite team isn't going to be enough.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, it looks like, Tyler, we could see an upset, so make sure you stay tuned, folks, because you don't want to miss it. We'll be back in around about 10 minutes after this short break to bring you map number 2 of this fantastic series, so don't go anywhere.
Driving cars on the Mars tonight. We're blasting off to the stars tonight. We wanna go, go. We wanna go, go.
you go through highs and lows. Hold on, you know you're just the thing I'm looking for. Hey you, I'll be there waiting every night and day, night and day.
Welcome back from our break. Yeah, the two of us are still laughing because Josh is a comedian off stream.
I've been telling you about all my favorite things.
Yeah, he never brings his funny side to the stream, it seems like. But yeah, we'll be looking forward to seeing how that transitions into the server. Of course, we did just see NLG losing their own map pick. If you've been reading that ticker down there, you've been reading that that was quite upsetting. If you're an NLG fan.
Yeah, for sure. And I'm sure there's quite a lot of NLG fans out there as well. That was a really bizarre game, to be honest. And it wasn't just one of those kind of crazy, Epic dudes have had some crazy comeback or they've had a few lucky rounds or anything like that. They were in control the entirety of that game. They were the better side. It wasn't like an upset. It was quite literally, they were the better team. Kirby was playing out of his mind. They were in control. They were in the lead throughout. They didn't drop that lead, even though NLG stayed hot on their heels. Yeah, it was a close matchup in every sense of the word. They were ahead. They did not lose that lead at all, and they were fantastic. I'm really excited to see what they can do on Nuke. I actually think they can take this in 2 bites. NLG, right now, they've got to be frustrated. Yeah, I'm sure they're a team with high mental resilience. I'm sure they've been in this position plenty of times and have been able to reverse sweep the series. But it's got to be a frustrating position to be in, having just dropped your map pick against a team that, on paper, you should be beating all day long. Now they're going into Nuke. They've only had 10 minutes to kind of discuss what's gone wrong there. And yeah, I think this could go the way of Epic dudes.
Yeah, I think so as well. I think the mental game is really going to show here now who's going to have the upper hand. As, yeah, we're going to be heading over to Nuke. Really, really looking forward to seeing what both teams can bring to the table, because of course right now, yes, the chances are still strong for NLG to just turn this back around, but I have to give it to Epic Dudes right now as well. They were the stronger team. Kirby especially, 28 kills to his name. Super, super strong in his own right, and we'll have to see if he can actually, well, continue with that. Right now, of course, it is their own map pick. There's a reason why they would have picked Nuke, and at the same time, of course, sure, we might not have as many stats as, for example, if everything would be on HLTV, but we do still have German coverage sites as well. And for Nuke, in kind of the past matches, for the guys at NLG, they've played it 7 times, have won it 4 of those times. We're quite strong on pistols, at least, but they didn't really show their pistol strength on map 1 because they lost both of them. We'll have to see what they can bring to the table right now. They're starting on the CT side, and Epic Dudes, let's see what they can bring to their T side right now.
Yeah, I mean, my biggest concern is the fact that Epic Dudes have to start off on their T side. They had a 13-2 lead in the half yesterday, but that was starting off on their defense. Now they've got to show what they're made of on their attack. We didn't get to see too much of it. Fast play from Gim into ramp, but he's by himself. It's just about selling that convincing fake, draw rotation over so that they can bomb it into this A site where they're not having a lot of success.
Yeah, and actually a good shutdown here from Paddy as well from up top from those rafters, and right now still Red is right beside him. He's already dealing damage. Marky actually the one to find the next kill. Red the final one. And everybody staying alive on that CT side is exactly the sort of confidence booster that NLG need at the start of this map. Show what they've got. And then, of course, if you're an NLG fan, ideally just shut Epic Dudes down from here on out. We'll have to see as they're down to Deagles in round number 2.
Yeah, I mean, as I said before, we didn't see a lot of the T side from Epic Dudes yesterday. With a 13-2 half and then closing it out 16-4, we literally saw like 5 or 6 rounds. And they were against a pretty broken SSP at that point, so this is going to be a real test for them, to be honest. I think they need to just take as many rounds as they can on their T side. I think they'll be really confident on their defense, but of course they need probably 5 rounds before they can kind of look forward to switching sides. Deagle's in play here for the T's. Not a lot invested around it. Gim's fully invested, but for everyone else, they've kind of saved a bit of money behind them, looking forward for those future rounds to keep some extra cash in the bank. Marky's looking to farm with this MP9, but as soon as he takes contact, he falls away.
Yeah, and right now already, yes, a little bit of damage dealt, but also the T's dealing decent damage towards Dr. Vicious and Red. Look at that Gim to find Red after all. The headshot would have been enough. Never mind Nino already. Kirby lurking down on the B bomb site. And I've missed that as well right now. He's into a great spot already. How can he try to re-support Paddy? Decent spot into Decon. Kazuya with a big headshot. And sure, NLG might win the pistol, but Epic Dudes right now putting the bomb down. Have heard the drop. They will be expecting a player into Decon as well from that initial drop in Vents. And it seems like Okalicious, they've decided, no, we'd much rather save these weapons that we've got. Epic Dudes, they might not win the pistol, but they do win the follow-up. And right now, that is not a good look for a CT side.
It really isn't, yeah, and that's what happens second round when you kind of overdo it a little bit with the MP9s and you don't have any early outside control. Kirby's just going to sneak in on that lurk. Looks like Perk should be able to find a couple of exit frags, but to be honest, Epic Dudes don't care. They don't care at all. Like, they've won the round. They've won a round that they shouldn't be taking at all. They weren't even fully invested into it. Only 2 players had Kevlar. That was essentially an eco with a couple of Deagles. Beautiful shots to get things going. Gim opening things up. Kirby on that lurk, as I said before, and then we missed it on the replay, but Kazuya's headshot to actually entry into the site on towards single door as well was just fantastic.
Yeah, insane progression of rounds here straight from the get-go, and already now, of course, the CTs kind of hit hard in their mental game as well. Kazuya with the first look towards outside. The CTs don't really have too much interest here. Molotov dropped down first. I think a follow-up nade came in behind. Perk's already dealing damage. He's into a spot where he can at least make life difficult for the dudes, but they're already moving through down in towards Secret. Paddy is going to be waiting. Deagle in hand.
Ooh.
Not a whole lot that he can do yet again. Gim with those entries has been strong today already. And of course, if you're the dudes right now, finishing this off 2-0 would be a nice look for yourself as well, looking ahead. Whereas Attacks were quite clear that they're expecting to be playing against NLG, but they don't really care because they are the strongest team in this tournament, or at least so they say. Maeve was quite sure of themselves in the post-game interview after their round 2 matchup.
Yeah, I mean they weren't even seeded. Yeah, they started off. They didn't get one of the bye wins that went to No Limit Gaming and Big Academy, but they've been fantastic, haven't they? If Epic Dudes win this, remember they get a share of that prize money as well, so they'll be very happy with this performance, even if they lose it in the finals. Kirby bombing it up to sight though. Oculus just takes that first contact, actually swings for the second as well. Massive play from him, and with 15 seconds left on the round, Kazuya knows that there's no way he can pull this back. Needs to take the gunfights and needs to take them fast, but as they play it together, Oculus throws a fantastic nade. And, well, NLG, they bite back, give Epic Dudes a taste of their own medicine.
Yeah, this back and forth at the start always hurts. It usually hurts the CT side a little bit more, but right now I don't think that the T's can really warrant another force. I guess it's worked out for them in the force, so why not do it? But at the same time, I'd much rather just see them wait until they can afford a full-on buy. We'll see 2 AKs, a Krieg, and 2 Deagles, so theoretically, still everything on for them. And not a shabby buy, if we're honest as well.
Yeah, definitely not. I like the fact that they've gone for the reforce into this one, knowing that there's not going to be a lot of money on that CT side. Marquee, that is filthy. And it takes out Kirby as well, of all people. One of the hardest hitters on this side for sure. Sync D needs to try and claw something back. Lucky that that nade's gone straight past him. Kazuya could have the drop here on anyone in main, but he's certainly been heard. He needs to be careful.
Red with a good response towards outside there already. He is going to be traded back, however. Kazuya now into a dangerous position. Could at least get him into a position. Still Paddy, really aggressive. And that's the bomb dropped. And this is almost unrecoverable, I feel like. Kazuya, they should be expecting him somewhere towards heaven. He did kill the outside player, remember. So it wouldn't exactly be a surprise if he pushes through here. Smoke right now, of course, is still blocking his vision towards the site. Taking his sweet time as well. 35 seconds still to go. Nobody down below just yet.
Oh.
Marquee towards CT spawn. No angle for him just yet. Kazuya could bring this back into a quick 1v1 and then maybe even get that bomb planted. Paddy doesn't exactly have all the health that he would like. 15 seconds though, no time to be quiet. You have to go quick. You have to work with this. 10 seconds now as the bomb is going to be picked up, but no time to go and plant it. Kazuya at least is going to be staying alive. Yeah, it's going to be super tough. At least he's not really massively disconnected with his team. It's still only $1,000 in his pocket, and of course if he doesn't find a kill into that next, then it makes life really, really difficult continuing on. Because then he is at least going to be disconnected to the point where he cannot buy an AK if he drops in the next.
Yeah, some nice evasive maneuvering there from NLG in that clutch situation. Unfortunately, it's just a pretty unwinnable round, isn't it, for Kazuya? He's kind of in a position where if his teammates stay alive towards Hut, give that distraction, he can come out of heaven and he might actually be able to do something. But as soon as his teammates fall and he's in a 1-on-3, then they start to think. Yeah, then they start to sort of take that moment to regain a little bit of composure and say, hold on a minute, where was he? Oh, he was outside. Okay, well, we've got the bomb down. Let's just hold towards heaven. Let's not allow him anything here. And that's exactly what they do. There's no real way in for Kazuya. 3-1. Pretty standard stuff, to be honest. I mean, I'm still surprised that Epic Dudes managed to pull off that second round, but since it's kind of gone the way you'd expect it to. And now they're down to an eco. Kazuya with that AK. And he's in a bit of a tough position here. Because he saved last round, he actually didn't get any loss bonus. So going into the next, he's not going to have a strong buy.
Yeah, no peeks out there from Secret just yet. Now it's happened, but no kills, only damage to be dealt. Red can chime in from Garage as well, as Kazuya drops. Still super awkward because, of course, right now, yes, they only kind of have that one AK. That's been gone now as well. Kirby not going to find anything perfect here for the CTs. Keep all 5 players alive, build up your economy. And right now, with 3 rounds in a row as well, sure, the loss bonus mounting for the Ts. What do you reckon? What do Epic Dudes need to do on their T side? How many rounds should they get to still be dangerous in the second half?
I said it before, 5. I think 5 is definitely what you're looking for here on Nuke as like a minimum. More than that's fantastic. You can get 6 rounds, you'll be happy. You can get 7, you're over the moon. But yeah, 5 rounds is what they need to stay competitive. Without it, they will really struggle. And Kirby, he's missed the jump. He's already just tanked tons of damage from falling off a silo.
It's really tough because you just stop mistakes that you make. Right now, though, nobody close there just yet. However, chances for Red to also get involved. It's actually Kazuya who's fallen back a little bit on top of main. Going as aggressive just yet. Perks super laid back here as well for NLG. Red to find that first kill. Perks now to chime in as well. Only 1 for him. Was expecting him to maybe even find a second. He did actually. Just before dropping. Picked up Nino. And this is tough for the dudes right now because of course 4v2. Paddy already coming in from behind. Well aware. There you go. That's bomb dropped. And the round pretty much set from there on out. Sick D though.
He's got time as well, you know. He needs to go and retrieve that C4, and then this is definitely doable. Wastes a lot of valuable time though, expecting a push from Secret that's not going to come. And I don't think this is possible anymore. That's a real shame. Just with no information, he's really expecting somebody to come up from Secret with 45 seconds on that clock. If he'd have gone and grabbed that C4 and actually committed to a bomb site, he could have had a shot at it. But look, I don't really know where he's headed now. If he pushes through this smoke, it's incredibly foolish. And yeah, I'm not sure what his plan was there. I suppose it's maybe he just wanted to die to even out the team's money. Yep. That makes sense.
Otherwise, he would have been, what, at $600? And that would not have been enough to, of course, continue this right now. You'll have full loss bonus to your hand. You will also have a point in the game, or at least, sure, you're not going to be buying into round number 7. But still at least, we'll grab a couple of deagles, maybe see if you can pop a couple of heads. As right now, they're actually taking a pause here. Go over their game plan. 4 rounds in a row now for No Limit Gaming. Little slip up in round 2, but we're able to rectify that immediately. And since then, it's been quite comfortable for them as well. Pretty one-sided. Sure, it's been tough when it comes to money for the Epic dudes. They do have weaponry. It seems like NLG seems to be back on top.
Absolutely, yeah. It's been a pretty one-sided game so far. NLG have looked better here on Nuke. They look more comfortable. It really makes me question what happened on Dust 2 and why they've picked into it, to be honest. But we'll see how this one continues to pan out. With the pistols in play, flashbangs. It's a real shame. Kirby, that would have been a free kill if he wasn't blinded by it himself. But the flash was just so good, it blinded everybody. The Glock taking on the P2K, and Red plays it like it's a pistol round. And he's pretty good at pistol rounds, so he picks up 3.
Yeah, really strong performance, and I do have to say as well, nobody on the side of NLG right now is really having any problems. Everybody's just hitting shots when they can, and not having any sort of troubles to take out the dudes. Sure, now the next buy is going to be coming in. 4 AKs, the op is out for Nino again. Just the question, can they now finally get an entry, maybe even double up? Red going quite aggressive towards outside. Nino not going to be opping outside. They have rarely any presence. Red goes so aggressive around Red container to actually find him, and it's kind of awkward because that's kind of the position all the way back under silo where you don't really expect to have any problems with the pushing CT. Nevertheless, a pushing CT op. And that's the reason why we don't see a response just yet. Okalicious to find Kazuya.
It's a little concerning that Gim might be running out of steam here as well. You saw him at the start of the game, charging in that pistol round, taking the lead. Going into that second round as well, when they were over towards ramp, he was the one that bought the Kevlar. He was the one that entered in first and found that beautiful headshot. And you could see he was really feeling it. After the sort of momentum of that last map, he was really, really sort of fancying his chances on those entry frags. Now, it seems like every single time he tries to go for an opening pick, he's being shut down. And As soon as his like aggressive playstyle is countered, I'm not really sure how he recovers. Nino with a nice kill though towards Ramp might open a path for them.
Yeah, and of course, Red is still holding on, trying to at least put a couple of rocks in their way to make life difficult. Perk's still down towards the B bomb, so they should be aware of his position. And still, Gander out. Kirby to find that headshot though. He, of course, still remaining strong. However, Paddy is quick to respond as well. Sync D all by his lonesome now. Does hear players below him, is good for one and the second. And now, all of a sudden, only Okalicious B will find the kill and also the defuse. Has a kit at his disposal. And it's 7-1 because of it. NLG looking like they do want to do quick business here on map number 2.
Here's that aggressive pick again from Red. I didn't actually realize how slim that margin was. Look at that, only the elbow poking out. Very nice attempt from Sync D, but unfortunately sort of low on health. There's no way he can move as well. Like, it's not like he can just drop off the rafters for that third frag. He has to just commit to the angle and hope he hits the shot, and he just falls a little short. Epic Dudes now with some cash behind them. To be honest, given what they had at last round, they've done a decent job. They found themselves 4 kills, they found themselves a bomb plant. It gives them enough to go for an investment here. But Okalicious finding the entry once again. It is traded though. 4v4.
Yeah, just stay on top of it right now, and that's the most important part for the dudes. Red, yet again going aggressive, this time in a different position. Perks doesn't really have a good overview of outside. Can really only cover off if anybody tries to go in towards main. Of course, could be an easier target. Molotovs usually do end up in that spot as well. Nade going to be flying out first. Molotov to follow up, but he's already way back. Perk's not going to be caring just yet. Flashbang dropped behind by Nino. And he's trying to cross. He's quite successful right now, as Perks is still just holding on to Garage. No pushes just yet. Red finds Sync D very aggressive in towards lobby. Now we'll need to go down. The battle is on towards Secret. Marky still here, ready and waiting. Bomb drop now. Nino to check. Him moving in. But Marky gets the better of him as well. And great play in the background with the ladder here from Paddy. It will be Perks to find that final headshot. Just toying with the T's right now.
Yeah, that's a rough one. That's a real rough one. It felt like they took some control and then they were just clamped in, you know. Trying to get down Secret, trying to work their way to B, but the rotations were just so fast from NLG, they weren't given any space whatsoever. And it seems like Epic Dudes are learning the hard way that they're not too comfortable on their T side of Nuke. This is shaping up to be a bit of a rough ride. Just the pistols, the AK-47 on Kirby, trying to tank him up right now. He's not got a lot of money behind him, though. This is a bit of a risky move. Smoke to somewhat aid the cross, but Red can see right over it.
No problem whatsoever. Paddy, of course, close towards main, still waiting here. Paddy to find a double, and he shouldn't even be in that position right now. Kirby finally trades. He's found 2 in the round already, and he will continue onto Okalicious. And yet again, it's Kirby, the player that they have to rely upon on the side of Epic Dudes. Marky and Perk still lying in wait. Especially Marky. In towards Hut. It'll be dangerous. How is the timing going to work out? Kazuya is actually carrying the bomb through heaven. They're quite low when it comes down to HP. Nino's at 10, Kazuya at 16, Kirby only at 41. Not easy at any stretch in the imagination. Bomb plant is going to be coming through. Nothing that they can do to deny right now. Marky almost needs to wait until Perks is in towards main. And can then start an explosive run. He has a defuse kit there. Perks can pick one up towards main as well. And now the fight is going to be on. Timer already halfway gone on the bomb. Of course, the fuse kit does buy them a little bit more time, but they have to make a move. They have to make it now. As Marky drops Perks. It's just too little too late, I think. just about going to jump on the bomb in time, and
He's
Nino
got a
can't
kit.
push. Yeah, he can't push. That's the thing.
Oh,
Molotov was
man.
perfect, and even Perks to find that final kill, keeping Epic Dudes at only 1 round.
That's a shame. Any util, if he had more health, that would have gone the other way, but low on HP, cannot run through that Molotov, has to just wait behind it and hope that he's not committing to the defuse, but of course he would be. That is rough. Marky actually dies while fully flashed by Perks' flashbang there too, so that was a messy retake, and Epic Dudes weren't able to take it over the top. But again, they've done well given the situation. That was effectively an eco round with Kirby just on a buy. And they've almost pulled it off. 4 kills on a bomb plant once again gives them that extra cash to work with. But now they have to start putting rounds on the board. I said the benchmark to hit was 5. It's still obtainable, but it's going to be hard. They need to win almost every round from here on out now.
Yeah, of course. NLG losing the first player in red. Paddy already down to 52 as well. In the meantime, they have been able to return a little bit of damage. Just not enough just yet. Look at the ADR number as well for red, 133. Just incredible from his side. 11 rounds done, 13 kills to his name. Kazuya continues with the Golicious. Paddy still in towards main. He was so strong last round, but not this time. As Kazuya continues heading towards Marky now. Could even see the head there. He does. Marky's quicker. And finally trades back. 4-on-2 though. I think that this is finally going to be the round that Epic Dudes were looking for. It should at least.
Well, it's Marky and Perks again.
Yeah.
This is what we saw last time. They pulled off a 3v2, but circumstances were different. The players were low on health. A couple of them didn't have Kevlar, so this should be the round, of course, for Epic Dudes, especially with Kirby finding that kill. I actually like that as well, just staying on top of A main, waiting for those kind of late rotations in case anyone comes from outside, spawn secret kind of thing. They had the information that one was over towards CT, so yeah, I actually really like that play from Kirby. A really nice off angle, and Perk should be hunted down here, and there we go. Good for 1, but Gim can trade it with the P250, and Epic Dudes take the round pretty convincingly. Second on the board, 3 players staying alive, and now they are potentially on track to hit that 5 marker.
Yeah, and money could also be very tough, at least in the next round. Of course, round number 12 is all going to be fine for the CTs. They have enough in reserves. But if they lose that as well, then all of a sudden it becomes a little bit easier for the dudes to continue. We see a pause right now, but everybody has already bought up. But yeah, we can see Red's bank, if he buys utility, is also going to be empty. Perk still has $1,000. Marky has $850. Paddy also 1,000, but not really enough there just yet to warrant another buy in the next run if they lose it. Of course, loss bonus is going to come into the equation as well, but just not far enough built up just yet. So this is a prime chance for Epic Dudes to not only win this round, but also win follow-ups, make it at least 4, maybe even push it towards 5.
Well, a pause to talk things over. Despite the fact NLG are 9-2 up, the cash behind them isn't great, is it? Look at that. $50 on Oculicious, Reds on 200 after that AWP investment. They're not going to be able to buy going into the next round if they lose this one. So this is actually a really good opportunity for Epic Dudes to pull 5 together here. They just have to overcome this first hurdle. That's it. They win this round and they're in a decent position. I wouldn't say it's great. They're 9-2 down. But yeah, they'll be able to make this a respectable half, and then they can play their defense as they did before. Also on that replay, we didn't get to see it from our POV, but Kazuya's opening kills last round were fantastic. That headshot towards Garage, then the follow-up in Hut as well. Just for perfect stuff. If he can continue that again, then we could be in for a treat. Jumping across. Ooh, they haven't cleared trash, but it doesn't matter. Right down into main, Perks finds the kill regardless.
Yeah, strong stuff there to take out Sync D. Marky, trigger discipline from his side, now takes out Gimp. And there is nobody else right now to try and challenge him, to try and trade that back, but right now Epic Dudes yet again moving over towards ramp ready. Lying in wait is Red. It's just waiting for that further peek to come out. He's already retreated slightly here. Does he peek back into the angle? Yes, he does, and Nino is going to get the better of him. Kirby, though, yet again, what's happening?
Oh, Kirby.
He's in such a good spot, and right now he can keep on top of Perks
What is going on?
without him considering it. And can start to be cleared out. Kirby is now going to be saying, well, I don't know how, but I'm in vent right now. Nino is going to be found out by Paddy. Important double there. And that takes any support that Kirby was looking for out of the equation.
That's really backfired on Kirby as well, because Kirby said, I don't need to commit to this kill. What I can do instead is I can relay to my teammates that he's going to be over towards window. Oh! Kirby! 20 seconds left, and this bomb can actually be retrieved, but no. Marky's coming from single. He closes it down. Ooh, that was looking scary for a second. But yeah, as I was saying, I mean, letting that guy go across, he's going to relay to his teammates that he's in window. He thinks that his teammates would just have an easy frag on that one, but that wasn't the case at all. He hadn't cleared top rafters, and yeah, they're all fully focused on that hard left angle, and that's their demise. Kirby almost recovers it, but a 4v1, it's a tall order. It's not going to happen.
Well, right now, it could have all worked out. It would have been great to see a third round there. But right now, NLG just staying on top, mostly in thanks to Paddy in that previous round as well. Important double kill from him. But yeah, it could have all turned out so much more differently. Kirby is some sort of ninja today. But just, well, was not ready to go for that kill just yet. Kills from him, same as Kazuya right now, but Perks could pop up from Secret right about now, finds a kill as well to Syncty. Follow-up nade, gives him a little bit more coverage, but still only damage. Somehow Kazuya staying alive at 1 HP now after the follow-up nade. And Nino even to find Reds. This round is back down to a 3-on-3. Remember, Kirby's still alive, so let's see what he can bring to the table. Colicious to drop.
I didn't think he'd win that duel. They're so low on health. Kirby and Nino picking up that one. Kazuya's on a single point of health right now, and he's still holding on. And with Marky now at a 1-on-3, I mean, it's very winnable. Two of these players incredibly low on health. They've got information on both of them as well. The bomb yet to go down with 20 seconds left. And as they commit to this A site, if Marky can deny this plant, he could cause a lot of trouble right now. Kirby here to support, but there's the first headshot, spams through the wall. Marky! Oh my goodness, 10 seconds left, and Nino, he's running out of options here. He has to commit to the plant.
Yeah, dropping down, switching to the AK, putting those numbers in. Already just holding on to Hut, not even considering Squeaky finding that headshot as well. Finally now, Epic Dudes, another round. However, continuing to only find single ones. This one at least close enough to the previous that money is rough for the CTs. And this guarantee them 4 with that loss bonus, maybe even 5. Because of course the CTs they're forcing. No other option here. To be honest, 2 MP9s, a Scout, CZ and a 5.7. Sure, we've seen crazier things on the pistols today. Even Glocks come to fruition. I don't know. I feel like the T's will at least get 5 here.
Wow. That was a hell of an attempt. Marky doing some serious work there. I can't believe he's actually found the spam on the second as well. Of course, hearing that information, just reading the situation beautifully as well. Up against just the weak buy here, Epic Dude should be able to pick this up and should be able to take 5.5. 5.7 from Paddy does some damage, but is instantly traded. Now the MP9 on stairs is called upon, and Perks gets some work done. Ocalicious, his turn to try and shine, and it's not going to happen either. They're just trading evenly right now, 3v3.
Yeah, and of course, even here, so important to continue with those scouts. Red was able to find it. Of course, this is Red right now on the scout, not Ocalicious as it's saying down below, but still, Red's so important. Whole holding on. It's back down to a 3 against 3. Actually, the whole HUD just broke, so yeah. Just about to say, something doesn't feel right, but all fine. Interested to see how all that continues. Big hold there from Red. Yet again, the scout pays out.
It's kind of just another one of those situations as well where Epic dudes are going to be kicking themselves. That was an opportunity for them to win against a really weak buy. It was still a full investment as well from LLG, so had they have lost it, they'd be in a very similar situation going into the 15th here with just sort of 5-7s and a couple of SMGs again, and it could have been 10-5. Now, instead, they're staring down the barrel of losing this half 12-3, and that's very difficult to come back from. Red with the scout again. He's been superb with it so far, but this time smoked off. Has to take a new angle.
Still Perks, Colicious, everybody here chiming in, and I feel like this might be a setup for a quick conclusion in the second half as well. 12-3. Tough time for the Epic dudes. Yeah. Just slightly rough on the edges. NLG still showing that they are the stronger side though, and I'd be expecting this to continue in the second half as well.
Yeah, 12-3, not the outcome that I think they were hoping for, especially after such a strong performance on Nuke yesterday, such a strong performance on Dust 2 just a few moments ago. Gim, 3 kills. I mean, he's having a rough time here, isn't he? Struggling to kind of find his form. Sync D as well, only on 5. They were 2 very hard hitters on Dust 2. I feel like Gim's kills, the majority of them came from those first couple of rounds as well. Just had very little impact here on Nuke. Now on the CT side, to be honest, bearing in mind they managed to win 13-2 last time round here on the CT side at the halfway point. It's possible, yeah, but definitely unlikely.
Yeah, and I still think that NLG is a different caliber in comparison to the City States Punks as well. So
yeah, I mean, that's important to note as well.
yeah, we'll have to keep an eye on it. However, of course, Pistol yet again on. Has been strong on map 1 for Epic dudes. They won both there. Dropped the first one here on Nuke, and LG were able to escalate that into the lead that they're holding on to right now. 2 players jumping in towards main as well. Syncty not in the path just yet. Kirby close range. Perks almost seems aware of that. Syncty to find Marky though. Gim to chime in against Paddy. There you go. Bomb right now still in towards lobby, but Okalicious comes into the mix of things as well. Wants to bring it back.
Ooh.
Kirby holding on. Look at that as well in the kill feed here. It's all going to be down. Just 1 player remaining on that T side.
There you go. Sometimes a little reset's really all you need. Perks now on a 1-on-3. Gim trying to take him out, jiggling on the angle, and it's actually Kazuya to take it. But yeah, sometimes that little reset is really all you need. It was actually Gim and Sync D, the 2 bottom fraggers, the 2 people I pointed out at half the time, were the 2 that found these opening picks in this pistol round. Gim almost doubles his frags here in this one with that big 2k. And yeah, Epic dudes put themselves kind of back on the board. Still a long way away, still a massive gap to close, but even if they can't pull it back to a point where they win it, any rounds that they claw back will definitely fill them with some confidence going into the 3rd map.
Yeah, and right now we'll have to see what NLG can bring to the table. 4 Deagles and a Scout on their side. Crucially as well on the CT side, a Scout alongside 3 rifles, one of those being a FAMAS, and only a single MP9. In comparison to what we saw earlier from NLG, this is certainly looking like stronger weaponry. They have a decent amount of utility still left here at the end. But of course here, yes, we've drawn first blood with Sync D doing 1 point of damage at the start, but figuring that out now to do further on, do damage up against Paddy. Still fighting with him up towards Aircon, plenty of damage. Now also as Paddy drops down to 3 HP, they're heading towards Secret. Kirby here lying in wait. There you go, continuing on, switching to the pistol, and that might just be as strong. Kirby, yes, of course, is up against a forcing pistol, but still finding 4 kills. Right besides Kazuya, who's sitting at 15. Kirby, yet again, a big round for numbers for him.
Yeah, impressive stuff again. I mean, just playing that so well too. His pathing in that situation, as soon as he takes contact, he's just falling away, takes more contact, falls away again, takes another fight, and then his teammates are there to support. But he just makes sure that he doesn't hold on to an angle for too long. As soon as you find that first kill, you've got to stay active, you've got to keep moving, otherwise you're going to get pre-fired, and he plays that to the T. 12-5. Looks like it should be 12-6 now up against these Desert Eagles. No Limit Gaming, playing nice and slow, waiting for the aggression.
Yeah, I like the fact that LG could also be taking a little bit more time, seeing if maybe Marky also has plans figured out for that next round already. He probably does, but could maybe also be taking a little bit of input in slow rounds like this. At the same time, of course, for the dudes, it's important for them to not overestimate themselves. Kazuya, double from him. And really, NLG seem to just be fading in one by one, but Perks and Okalicious at least finding individual kills. The weapons should be in positions where they can actually recover them towards the end of the round as well. That should be near. Because of course, Perks is down to 9 already.
Ooh.
And at least
There
the
we
knife
go.
kill isn't going to work out for Kirby, but Kazuya is going to find it after all. Ultimate disrespect, and sure they do lose, what, 2 M4s?
Yeah, I'm not sure if it was really
Is it worth it? I don't know. It's worth it for the clip. We saw a knife kill in our first series of the day as well, so why not as well get it here? I'm just a big fan of the safe kills first. I understand when in a situation like that, especially on the CT side, you might want to go for it.
You're just boring, Tyler. You're like an old man.
Yeah.
It's that moustache, I think, that does it.
Yeah, definitely. That aged me by about 10 to 15 years.
Well, Okalicious dropping off of main. Not checking that left-hand corner, though, but he does find the kill.
Yeah.
And Gim.
Still only one, though.
Yeah, trades it
Trade
right
it back as well. And the advantage is now here for the dudes as Nino continues on the scout. So strong to find the headshot onto Paddy. Mark in Perks. That's nice. Although you find a 12-3 into halftime on the side of NLG. First Baron at least seems to be shut down. Bomb now dropped into Kirby. And Perks all by himself in a 1v4.
Kirby just playing mind games with him as well. Like, in that scenario, hugging that close wall, you kind of expect when that scout takes contact, if someone's playing on that close wall, for them to swing. But he doesn't. He just stays hidden so that when they push out, trying to get a better angle onto that scout, he's able to just backstab. And it's absolutely perfect. Kirby is a very, very smart player. You can see it just by his movement and his positioning there. Perks left in the 1-on-4. There's really not a lot of options for him. I don't think he's got the bomb on his back. Sometimes difficult to tell on the HUD. I can't actually see where it's down. I think that's down towards ramp. So yeah, it's probably just looking to save it with 25 seconds on the clock.
So yeah, I think right now, whilst of course NLG do still have a decent lead, the Delta is certainly melting away for them almost. Because of course it's only 5 rounds ahead of Epic Dudes right now. And sure, that can be plenty enough. They only need 4 more to actually win it here on map 2. Steal Epic Dudes map pick. However, of course, the Dudes were able to win on NLG's map pick, so we'll have to see what they can continue to do here on the CT side. They seem to have everything figured out. Of course, loss bonus is big right now for NLG, not a question about it. For right now, going to be down to 2k. Perks actually even deeper than that, but of course loss bonus is going to grant him the chance to still buy an AK in the next round if he still wants without utility.
Well, just with the pistols, Perks on that AK-47. Trying to sort of tank him up right now, but look at this outside hold. I mean, you've got one playing over towards the grey container, one swinging from heaven, one swinging from main. They've got it on lock, and Kirby, well, he doesn't need any support towards ramp because he's doing it all himself. And just like that, it's shut down. 12-8. This scoreline really closing, Tyler. I said it might be doable. And now they're within 4.
I am certainly here for it. Let's see how they can continue. This round here is going to be vital. And of course, Perks wanted utility, so he's going to be down to a Galil in this next round still to come. But the way that Epic Dudes have just been hitting headshot after headshot after headshot doesn't matter. And their spray downs are strong as well. Oh, we've got a nice little plan laid out. Not really CS related, so nothing that NLG could maybe bring into their own game plan. But at least a little bit of team building. Have a feedback loop as well. And that is certainly something that CS teams need as well. Work with the feedback, work with the information that your team gathers throughout these rounds.
Well, a decent buy here for NLG. Perks, of course, the one that had that AK in the last, down to the Galil. It doesn't look like it's causing him too many problems. Massive opening from Marky. Nino Zorp out of the equation instantly. And again, just hasn't been able to have a lot of impact today. He was good yesterday in that series against Sissy State Punks, but he hasn't been given as many opportunity to find those opening picks with the AWP. We saw him quiet on Dust 2, now on Nuke. Kind of much of the same. But the man advantage may work wonders for NLG as they slow things down a little bit.
So right now, Red just patiently waiting with that Molotov now to be set out towards the A bomb site. Is a push also happening is the bigger question right now. They seem to be wanting to go towards ramp. Kirby, of course, the player to hold on to that. He's fallen back towards the B bomb site. Will have support of Syncty as the T's will be funneling in. Gim will be trying to make his way back to it as well. Syncty drops Paddy to find that kill. Kirby though for the trade, only for one trade for right now. Gim coming in from behind. And still, it's a perfect shutdown for NLG. Might just be in time, but look at the money that the CTs have. Is this just a quick little slip up? Or is this NLG starting to close out map number 2?
Some big frags to get things rolling. Look at that, AWP's back out on both sides. Nino jumping right into it, despite the fact he doesn't have a lot of money behind him. Not much util. That AWP comes back out because NLG are drawing close to the finish line, and Kazuya fully blinded through the smoke. I mean, that pretty much seals it.
Super big opening straight at the start, not even 20 seconds into the round, and already 2 players dropping, Nuclealicious and Marky, and those are 2 of the guys that have been doing well in previous rounds to at least open up rounds, to find those initial headshots before the rest can chime in. Of course, Red, still the top fragger for NLG here on map 2. Paddy already forced back by that Molotov. Good job here for the dudes. Right now, at least, Molotovs are going to be coming in towards the A bomb site. Oh, big there as well. The nade almost coming through to take out Paddy, but he was just about to drop down into vent. That ended up working out, so other players are going to be heading towards Secret, try to link back up with him. And Red to find Gim as well. This is still doable. Those kills came so early in the round that anything still can happen. Paddy to take out Kirby, so important for him. 2 more players coming in from ramp right about now as well. Still trying to hold on. Kazuya can't hold on to Red. Paddy finds Syncty, and Nino drops as well. They don't even need to make it towards the bomb site. Already Paddy grabbing 3 kills, shutting things down. Such an important moment to come alive, and such an important moment to drop down in towards vent.
Oh man, it's another example of just a thrown away opportunity. Kazuya has been handed it on a plate there. He's found 2 opening frags. He's taken no damage in response, so they've got a 5v3 from the get-go, and they've still crumbled under the pressure. Now they're on a weak buy to try and prevent their opponents from getting onto map point. Oh, this has fallen away. They had such a fantastic opportunity when it was 12-8.
Yeah, and that's the thing right now. NLG certainly pulling this one back. Might just be in the nick of time. Let's see, though, what the dudes can do. Sure, 2 players are kind of weaker. They do have only a limited amount of utility. Gim, Syncty, and Nino, of course, all 3 of those guys only at 9 kills, and that's a major part in why NLG have the upper hand right now. Everybody there more on a similar level. Yes, you have Red that is right on top. But on the side of the dudes, it's pretty much Kirby and Kazuya that seem to have to fix everything in this game. Nino, alongside Sync, they're not having the best of maps.
And it's got to be frustrating if you're one of those players as well. It's got to be frustrating if you're Kirby or Kazuya, especially Kazuya in the last, who's finding these massive entries and his team just aren't picking it up. Kirby's doing everything he can towards ramp as well. Every time they're hitting ramp, he's shutting it down, but the other parts of the map are really the vulnerabilities. And there you go, once again, perfect example of Kirby just doing bits there towards that portion of the map.
Yeah, goes aggressive, does find the kill, falls straight back immediately. Syncty, though, to find Paddy. I think that's bomb dropped as well. Kazuya gets the better of Vocalicious, who seemed just a little bit slow to maybe react to him seeing a barrel. I was sure that he would see Kazuya first. The case, bait here against Syncty. Double kill now for Perks, just reckless. You had the bomb down, you didn't need to go to try and recover that rifle. But of course, time was already gone. Epic Dudes, they're on to 9. They have less of a buffer though, because of course right now, 5 rounds ahead of them is NLG. 2 away from actually closing things out here. It was a lot more comfortable, as you said, when NLG were still sitting at 12.
For sure, yeah, that's kind of the thing. They'll be happy with that round, but they'll be disappointed with the last couple. Still money in the bank here for NLG as well, so they can still go for a full investment. They're not in the clear just yet. Epic Dudes still need to fight hard. 5 in a row to tie things up, 7 in a row to take the win here. It's a long road. It's a long road. They've been good so far here on this CT side. Remember, they've come down from a, what was it, a 12-3 half. So the fact that they've even clawed it back this much will definitely fill them with some confidence going into the 3rd map if it comes down to it. This round kind of means everything for now, though.
So, time to continue now, as NLG looking to close this one out. However, Epic Dudes, of course, have them maybe right where they want them. Money is tight for NLG. If Epic Dudes win this, then they could surely make it 11 as well. However, it's a long ways away, and of course, as you said the other day, they were able to make it 13-2 on their own CT side. But certainly their opponents in the Sissy State Punks yesterday. Different caliber in comparison to NLG right now, even though they have also been looking weak at times, especially on map 1 on Dust 2. Molotov. Kazuya is just about ahead of it, will sail live towards that position as well. That smoke might give his position away. Go Kalicious right now here. Quick to respond, but Sync Deep also saw him immediately.
Rifles in play, and Okalicious spamming away, but just can't do the well, he can do the damage, but he can't find the kill. Nino's still alive, and yeah, as long as he's alive, he's a danger. 2 players towards ramp here, should be able to shut this one down. No, it's Paddy to find the kill. Kazuya there, Sync's to support. And look at this, a bit of a shutdown back into a 3-on-3. Sync runs out of bullets though. What an unfortunate time for that to happen. Kazuya whiffs on the 2nd, and it all falls onto Gim, who, even though he's in a brilliant off angle, Okalicious just wide swings and hits the headshot.
Yeah, big stuff right now as they keep on going. Of course, the kills are so very vital right now. But still, 15-9. Money is gone for the CTs. This should see us heading to a 3rd map, to a decider. And then, of course, on to Overpass. Both of our semifinals would then go decent distances right now. Attack's already set for the grand final. I'm sure that whoever wins this would have had would have rather had a longer break between the end of their best of 3 and heading straight into the next for the grand final. But whoever wins here has at least €1,000 already secured. And then, of course, our winners getting the larger share of the €4,000 prize pool at 3,000. And also a boot camp for the whole team at the League Camp in Germany as well. But right now, 3 against 3. And the dudes are staying in the game.
Yeah, afloat for now. Still, though, a difficult situation to be in. 50 seconds on this clock. No Limit Gaming. Still with a little bit of util to go for a final execution when they choose to. 2 MP9s to try and defend. Kazuya might actually spot them on the cross. Yeah, he does. He's going to fall away. Knows what's up right now, but instead diverts to heaven. Mollied off. Oh, this gets complicated as they bust their way onto the A site.
So yeah, NLG, I thought that Epic Dudes might just be able to shut them down in this round, but it seems to be enough for the moment. 3 on 2 here for the retake. Sure, Marky doesn't have a whole lot of HP, but he could still be a nuisance for these defenders to try and make it back out onto the bomb site. Sync D gets dropped. All going to be down to Kazuya. They're well aware of his position. Red to shut both players down. And guess what? We are heading to a third map, an overpass, as our decider. And it was kind of slow at times for the Epic Dudes. They were so strong in map 1, weren't able to quite transfer that into the second map, just weren't able to do enough in the first half at a 12-3. And already kind of, well, looking ahead, it was tough to then kind of react to that.
Yeah, I really feel like if they hit that benchmark, yeah, there was a couple of rounds in that first half that they really threw away, I feel. If a couple of rounds in that first half had gone their way, they hit that kind of 10-5, 9-6 mark, then absolutely that was winnable. They had some steam behind them. They had their wind in... My goodness. They had some wind in their sails in that second half, and they definitely could have pulled that back, but the 12-3 half just cursed them. Yeah, they just didn't have enough margin for error, and yeah, it all went wrong. Big round, a big game though from NLG, big map. They'll be going into that third and final, and to be honest, it really could go either way based on how this has gone so far. Nuke being quite a CT heavy map and really kind of proving it again today. I feel like this third and final map could definitely go either way.
Yeah, definitely. We'll have to see in which way Overpass does go. I'd say statistically, probably NLG will continue to have the upper hand in this best of 3. We'll take a quick break, and then we'll see you on the other side as soon as Overpass is ready for us.
you go through highs and lows. Hold on, you know you're just the thing I'm looking for. Hey you, I'll be there waiting every night and day, night and day. I'll be there waiting every night and day, night and day.
Invitational. Josh is still gone, but he's back now. So we should be heading to the game soon as well. Right now, we're of course just waiting for players to be ready. It's been an intense best of 3 thus far. Both teams winning each other's map picks. And it's been super, super interesting. What are we expecting for Overpass?
It just wouldn't turn on, Tyler. I couldn't believe it. Anyway, I'm not really sure what to expect for Overpass, to be honest. We saw Epic Dudes actually play pretty well on Overpass yesterday. Obviously, we've talked about the fact it's a different caliber. Yeah, it's kind of a different caliber fish here against NLG, but they played well yesterday on Overpass. I expect them to play well again today. They've looked really good this series. They had a fantastic map on Dust 2. They almost pulled it back on Nuke, but as we said before, they just couldn't get enough rounds on that T side, and I think that was really their demise. But yeah, I mean, it's been an interesting series so far. Not what I was expecting for the semi-finals, I'll be honest. When I was looking at today's matchup, I was really expecting this to be a 2-0, and then the grand finals to be the one where it's like the real excitement goes to a third map and whatnot. But this seems to really be quite the opposite.
Well, we've been on for 3 maps in the first game today as well. Of course, you casually skipped that one. Yeah. No, but Hayes was there after you guys already had a filled day yesterday. Of course, I was just kind of casually lounging yesterday. Didn't really care that I could also cast CS. No, jokes aside, really looking forward to seeing what the guys can bring. I think the grand final is still going to be super, super interesting. I just fear that fatigue might be a factor for either of these two teams, as Attacks at least have these 2-3 hours to just recharge their batteries. Be ready again then. Actually, 4 hours after the end of their best of 3 is when we are scheduled to start that final game.
Yeah.
Kind of a long time.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, the biggest thing here as well, or maybe not the biggest thing, but another big factor here for Alternate Attacks is they can literally sit back and watch this match, yeah? Like, hello, Alternate Attacks players, you're probably watching. Maybe they're watching the German stream. But yeah, like, that's such a luxury when you know that you're playing against one of these two teams, playing a full best of 3, being able to kind of watch the match, see how they're playing and whatnot, and how their defaults are kind of shaping up and whatnot. It's a pretty powerful thing. So they're going to be in a really comfortable position. As you say, fatigue's like a massive, massive thing. These guys are like hardened players. Yeah, they play Counter-Strike all day. I'm sure they're very used to playing like multiple series in a day. But a lengthy best of 3 that's really gone the distance. First map 16-14. Second map, I think it went like 16-9 or something like that. But it was still pretty close. Yeah, it's a lot of kind of stress. It's a lot of work. Staying fully focused for that amount of time in a row. And I'm not sure how much of a break they'll really get as well after this map. If this one goes the distance too, which I kind of expect it to do so, they might not get much of a break between this and the grand finals.
Yeah, it should be roughly half an hour or so, but of course, before we actually head in to Overpass fully into our next pistol round, reminder for you guys to also enter in our giveaways. Of course, one of those is a 5-day boot camp at the Elite Camp near Stuttgart in Germany. So, of course, you could be heading here, playing on the great PCs, have a nice little sleepover, and then also enjoy some of the free drinks that they have on offer. But of course, also, as we see it time and time again popping up all around the maps, our observer always is kind to show you those, is gift cards for Skin Baron. Of course, great that they're on for the tournament. Of course, thanks to all of our partners here at the ANATY Invitational. Without them, of course, a tournament organized by ANATY, a production company, basically, and they've been doing a great job here, just wouldn't be possible in this scale without great partners like that. So yeah, big thanks, and looking forward to seeing what we can bring to the table. Right now, NLG up against Epic Dudes. Final map. This map decides who moves on to the grand final. We'll get at least 1,000 euros out of that 4,000 euro prize pool. The winner, of course, walking away with 3,000 and a boot camp themselves. So, I mean, who knows? Maybe you might even be here at the same time as either Attacks or NLG, or maybe even Epic. The Epic Dudes would be here at the boot camp. Who knows?
If I'm in the giveaway, do I get to come see you as well?
Yeah.
Is that part? That's part of it. Yeah, that's kind of part. Like everyone watching, that's part of the giveaway as well. Don't undersell yourself, Tyler. You get to see Tyler as well. Give you a high five.
Yeah, as long as as long as you're like not choosing a time where like I'm out at an event, which right now is barely happening. Yeah, definitely. You'll be able to see me here as well. I'm kind of part of the deal. if you like it or not. Right now, Epic Dude's already into their pistol round, looking to go over towards the B bomb site through Monster now already. The CT's well aware of it by now. And Syncty's already further out. Perk's the first one to find a kill. Can't continue here as well. Finally, Kirby is the one to find the response. Who else would find the kill there on the headshot? Fully blind, but Red coming in from behind. Nino, good for one, but only one it seems like. As that is the pistol, and LG do win it in the end.
Yeah, fairly clean stuff there from an OG, and it's kind of a standard setup, isn't it? Stack up over towards that B site early on in that pistol, and yeah, just really strong crossfire. Perk's finding himself a couple of nice headshots. Red on the quick rotation as well. You get to see a nice little replay of him hitting a couple of crisp shots, and it's just a solid hold all in all. Epic Dudes couldn't find their footing there at all on the B site. They've had quite a lot of success with pistol rounds yesterday and today in that opening 2 maps, so definitely maybe a little worried that they've not picked up that one. Remember on Nuke though, they lost the pistol round and picked up the follow-up, so let's see if they can deal that same kind of damage here.
Yeah, and right now, of course, they're just back down to whatever they can afford in this round, but it's not half bad. It is certainly doable. Paddy already taking initial damage from that scout of Nino. Red is falling back, also just to put a bigger focus on the bomb site. Right now, delicious all around. Gim dropping to the M4. Always nice to see the M4s coming through. However, still surprised that they didn't switch out the M4 to the player with more HP. Paddy's still in the corner though. He's going to find a double. I guess that's the reason why they don't switch weapons. Because Paddy's still going to grab a double. Doesn't matter if he's at 30 HP. Red drops because of it though, and was of course in the MP9. Talk about MP9s. Marky to shut down Nino. He's going to drop to Kirby, but of course now a 1v2. Barely any HP to his name as well. The fight is still on. Oculus just dipping in and out quite comfortably, but he is of course also wasting time until Perks can arrive. Kirby has now got that bomb planted.
Oh, timing.
Best post plants.
I mean, he slips away.
Yeah, Perks shuts it down though, so it is going to be 2-0 as expected. Certainly an expensive round here if you're NLG. The question is if you're Epic Dudes right now. Sure, you got the bomb down again. Lost bonus on your side. There's a close round. I mean, they can't fully buy. 2 players could buy an AK. I'd be fine if they just go for something here.
Yeah, with a bomb plant and 3 kills, you could definitely justify it. It wasn't the worst second round, to be honest. They found a couple of nice entries. But yeah, just executing in on that site. I think they just took maybe a little bit too much time. NOG had already gone for those rotations. They weren't necessarily expecting Marky to be tucked behind with that MP9, and that's where things kind of went south. We do see another investment though. Galil's out, 2 AKs, not a lot of use here. The nade stack is pretty perfect, to be honest. Sync D, before he's even seen anyone, he's down on 44 points of health.
Yeah, not the best situation that you'd like to be in right now. Kazuya's over towards the B-bomb site, lone player here. And already dealing damage, but conceding more, let's be honest. Drops to Calicious. He's down at 38, and that's just not going to be enough as for right now. Sure, they forced up. They're on to 3 Galils and 2 AKs at the start, but especially those 2 AKs. Syncty already down to 44. Kirby, of course, has been the strongest player throughout. It almost feels like has at least been the most consistent to find kills. But a big double here for Paddy. Oh. 2 seconds, 2 kills out in towards middle. Kirby at least is able to find the trade, but he's already down to 9 HP. I hate to say it, but it's 2 on 4. Not exactly the best. Gim can switch back to an AK at least. I'd prefer for Kirby to fall back and for the 2 of these guys to maybe try to head over towards B. But Red finds the kill onto Kirby. Could also swing out again to find Gim. Rotate from behind, already happening. And of course, there's also a secondary player over towards his site, so even if Red would not find this kill, Marky would have been there to shut things down. Everything fine for the round. 3-0 off the start. I'm just hoping that it won't progress as one-sided as it's been.
For sure, yeah.
Days.
Interesting stuff as, yeah, No Limit Gaming just kind of completely shut that one down. I think that's probably the wake-up call here for Epic Stews to sort of say, right, we've had a little bit of success in these last couple of rounds. We've found some kills and whatnot going for those forces. Now we realise that we need utility, though. We can't just keep kind of going for rounds like this. We need to drop down to an eco, have that full util in the next, because we're being demolished here and we're running out of options. And look at this again, just an absolute shutdown. Okay, it's just pistols, but they don't even get close to the bomb site. No kills, no bomb plant, no nothing. No Limit Gaming on 4. Epic Dudes will have enough money to go for a proper investment with some util. This is where they need to bite back.
And sure, it's only up against the pistols, but still keeping everybody alive, not conceding a single frag is exactly what you need, especially on the CT side. Up to $6,000-7,000 already after this round, and that is going to be the point either way. Of course, Epic Dudes, yes, it's their first buy. They have an AWP out, they have 4 AKs, plenty of utility as well. The CTs, not with the AWP just yet. But I think they can manage without one for the moment. The Molotov not exactly coming through perfect. They're trying to swing past it. Great flash! And the flash was the can opener for this round. 3 kills for Marky and Paddy. And they just had no business there. They failed the Molotov. The flash came through. And Kirby and Nino are none the wiser as 30 seconds into the round already they've lost 3 players. And the CTs, they are set right now. Marky still actually chilling in playground. You might just find Nino here. It is going to be a fight for it, and Marky comes out on top. He had no business in finding that kill either. Remember, this is a rifle round. Both teams were fully equipped. The T's had the AWP out as well, and I'm sure the CTs will be happy to save that through. And what good is it going to do for Kirby? Sure, he finds the kill, he makes it towards the A bomb site, but the bomb is still way back. And yes, sure, he can maybe try to go crazy. He's done so before. With 30 seconds on the timer. Super difficult.
Oh.
Marky going to be dropped. Follow-up nade into that position as well. Delicious now tagged down already. But it is going to be a 5th round. And losing 2 players is manageable. You're still making net profit.
Yeah, you can shrug that off. Marky's sitting on 10k as well. I'm sure he'll be fine with that. A couple of nice kills at the end there by Kirby, but yeah, nothing too substantial. Another fantastic round from NLG. They push themselves into 5. And what are we going to see going into this one? Yeah, oh, that's a really weird buy. Okay. Kazuya fully investing, Kirby dropping down to the 1100 mark. He can justify that because they've got the max loss bonus, but we're going to see a funky buy in the next. Nino just about won't really have enough for an AWP. He could go for an AWP and Kevlar, but have no util and no head armor. Kazuya's going to be strapped for cash, maybe even down to a Galil, unless they can get something done here like a bomb plant. This is a weird one. Let's see how it goes as they bomb it up long. 3 players there, 2 over towards toilets. It looks like A is the destination of choice.
Yeah, Paddy already found the first one onto Kirby. These weapons to be picked straight back up.
Oh.
Fred tried to make it back out, and oh, hold on! Paddy all by himself towards the bomb site. Okolicious is still a distance out. And Epic Dudes might just win their first round here. Okolicious in with 1, but will drop to Sync D. I guess that's one way to kind of get your bank going. You don't need to then have the loss bonus to be supporting you. Kazuya can get a drop from one of his teammates, and Epic Dudes can continue. They've won a single round now. But the panic on the side of NLG. Red just caught out in the open. They tried to support. It did not work out.
Yeah, that was weird. I mean, Red's made a massive mistake there. I actually have no idea why Red's gone for that peek. He's like literally clearing the left side flower pit, and then he doesn't take the shot. Yeah, I mean, I'm not necessarily suggesting he should have gone for no scope, but That's just such a weird angle to be facing with an AWP, with no support as well. Yeah, it's cost him probably the rounds, to be honest. A lot of damage dealt early, only 1 for 1, but Okalicious down to 4 points of health. This could be another round on the board for Epic Dudes, and maybe a ticket in for them. No Limit Gaming, if they'd have won that last round, like realistically they should have, they'd be against another kind of funky buy here with Nino not having that AWP, Kazuya probably on a Galil or something like that. This could have been a real opportunity for them to continue that snowball and just run away with this half.
Yeah, the chance is still there for NLG to grab this 6th. But of course, with 50 seconds still to go, Delicious down to 4. I think Epic Dudes certainly want to go over towards this B bomb site. A little bit of damage here dealt. Not a whole lot though. Molotovs, nades coming in. Kirby taking damage. It's all about that initial fight. That might even decide it. 20 seconds still to go. And that is the time frame where the initial kills become so much more valuable. Perfect flashbang in. Marky holding on for one. Supporting Perks here as well. And it's down to a 1-on-2. Syncty all by himself. Tapped the bomb once. There's no timing now that he's gone off it. And Marky has realized that, is saving through. And is going to win the round because of it. Op saved for Syncty. But an awful round if you think that Epic Dudes, of course, had the advantage here after they were able to shut down the aggression early on.
Yeah, big pick up there. I mean, after that one was looking very dangerous, to be honest. NLG have done well to recover it. Weapons saved, of course, though, so Epic Dudes still with the cash, of course, still with that max loss bonus as well, so they're kind of rolling in it right now. On the other side of things, NLG are looking very fragile. They're on a full investment, but despite the fact that they've got that 6-1 scoreline, a single round loss is all that it takes to break that economy, put them down to, what, $1,500? Red says no. He wants to continue this force, and Perks follows up. 2-man advantage straight off the bat.
Right now, though, just continuing on. Kirby, Kazuya, and Nino. Just staying on top of this right now. However, Paddy ready to go. Kirby is going to drop him, however. Marky staying on top of it. Still here for his team, so is Red. Nino is going back down towards the B bomb site. Perks just will hear the door open, is quick to react as well. Plenty of damage onto Kazuya, not enough to find the kill just yet, but surely he's going to be denied from actually finding that bomb plant. Checking heaven, but Okalicious will find him after all. 7-1, and NLG continue to be in the driver's seat.
Well, this is looking a little more like what we were expecting, isn't it, really? Much better stuff from NLG. It seems like they've woken up a little bit. Yeah, it took them a bit of time. Dust 2, I think you used the term on Dust 2, they were asleep behind the wheel a little bit. They just weren't showing us their best. There were a lot of mistakes made. There was lots of space given to Epic Dudes that they were just capitalizing upon. Now on Overpass, they do seem to be struggling a little bit. Bombing it up short, smokes off the molly, but Marky's seen him on the jump spot, and they're ready for this.
Yeah, we'll have to see what they can bring to the table right now. Molotov back in towards short. Just keeping them at bay for now. Sure, it's only the Deagles, but they can still be so dangerous, especially if they come out in numbers. That's the biggest point, I think, right now. However, the CT's holding on. You can see Perks as well, just holding on in case the T's boost towards short. Right now, still over towards that bomb site. D to find Marky. Perks to trade back. That's a bomb drop for the moment. Okalicious to hold on as well. As right now, 2 players still ready and lying in wait. Kazuya now from Monster to become dangerous here. He finds Okalicious. Perks, only 1 from him. Paddy is there to back him up. And this is pure dominance right now from the CT side. They seem very, very comfortable here on Overpass. And just nothing really stopping them here.
Yeah, Epic Dudes just aren't even really coming close to these rounds, are they? There's been a couple of scenarios where they've come down to like 1v1 situations. It's been somewhat winnable, but the rest have just been domination. No Limit Gaming looking like themselves here. And to be honest, I'm glad that we're seeing this now. Yeah, I'm glad that they are kind of pulling this out of the bag. They're showing us some really, really top-notch Counter-Strike, because it shows that they're now on full form and they're ready to go into that grand finals match if they can kind of plow through and finish off this map.
Yeah, it's just super important as well, I think, for whoever moves on. Presumably right now it would be NLG. For them to, well, find the win quickly, give themselves a little bit more time to calm down. Right now, though, Kirby already finding red. Delicious to trade back, however, and yet again the numbers are here, and it's only really Kirby to be finding the kills. He's at 9, Syncty's at 8. Him still yet to frag on this third map. And Nino and Kazuya at 3 each isn't exactly the game that they were looking for either. Paddy and Perks it again to shut things down. Nino miles away. He's trying to head over towards B. A bomb plant would already be so big for them.
Yeah, I mean, Nino knows it. If he can get onto B and tap in those digits, then it gives him something to work with. At the very least, some extra cash. But potential at the round as well. Once that bomb's planted, a 1v3 is very winnable. As soon as he throws that smoke, though, they know what's up. And I like the way that NLG are playing this as well. It's very easy in these scenarios to split 2 on 1, and then for Nino to find that opening pick and to become a 2v1 scenario. But playing this retake together, they've got the utility, they've got the resources, they're just going to push through as a unit, and surely Nino doesn't stand a chance here.
Yeah, he's doing his best, and he's certainly into a decent position right now. However, yeah, having to face 2 players, Paddy will be his ultimate demise. And yet again, bomb's gonna get defused. Okay. Paddy taking a little bit of time, but of course he does have a kit, so not a problem. Okay, we're still trying to recover something, but yeah, right now it's nice and all for Kirby. And of course it's nice to see that he can still find the kills and make rounds competitive. But at the same time, then that one single kill for Nino that he gets extra isn't really going to be making too much of a difference. We've got a pause right now. I'm guessing that that is of tactical nature, and of course here's one of those vouchers that you guys can redeem. Oh, for Skin Baron. Hope you guys are quick typers, because that'll be gone soon as well.
I'm not, I'm rubbish. I was saying to Hayes yesterday though, we do like so many tournaments with Skin Baron codes, we could just like make a living out of it. We just snatch up all the Skin Baron codes, yeah.
Kind of
how good my inventory would be.
Yeah, but your inventory isn't bad, no?
Yeah, no, it is. It's good, but
I mean, you were literally one of those guys that said, "Hey, pros, take some of my skins to the major. I'm too crazy."
I'm so crazy. Yeah, but that's because like my skins have special powers, right?
Okay.
So I've done some funky stuff, like my Frog Glock. My Frog Glock harnesses a lot of power. My Twilight Galaxy with 4 frogs on it. That changes, that turns the tides. If one of the pros decided to borrow that for the major, which they should have, like I offered it to Nico, and Nico didn't take it, but if he'd have taken it, then I think that grand final would have gone a very different way, actually. But you know,
was there any Glock problems, you think, or is it just as soon as you have the Glock, it's just so much easier?
Yeah, to be honest, yeah, just everything just becomes a bit easier. That Deagle round, I mean, he wouldn't even have a Deagle; he'd just be using Frog Glock, and
okay.
Yeah, Frog Glock would have taken care of it.
So an update on why we're getting this pause right now. Seems to be a problem with Gim's mouse. That would explain the 0 kills that he's having right now. But I almost feel like 10 rounds into it, might just be slightly late to realize there's something wrong with your mouse.
Yeah. I mean, you never want like tech problems. I know, to be honest, it affects different players in different ways. I know for a fact that if my sensitivity is like 0.1 off, or my mouse is playing up a little bit and it feels a bit jittery or something like that, it like completely like mentally checks me out. I just play terribly, like or on like a slightly different res or a slightly different setup or something. I'm just really bad. There are some players that are kind of used to traveling and being on different setups and things like that, and they're just like they're fine with it. But yeah, sometimes it does maybe take a little bit of time. Maybe it's not like a massive issue. Maybe Gim's mouse is just like sort of like jittering a little bit. Mine does that sometimes. If you get something in the sensor, sometimes you gotta like blow a bit of compressed air in the sensor because you've got like a bit of hair or an eyelash in it or something, and then it kind of jumps around a little bit sometimes. I don't know. I don't know. I'm just spitballing.
Do you have one of those cans with air?
I
Or do you have
did.
a compressor?
I don't have at home. My parents have a compressor because they do like racing and stuff. So they use it to like fill tires, but I don't have one here at my house.
Imagine doing racing and stuff. No, yeah, I don't have anything here as well. I'm expecting someone would have something to blow air into the set. I don't know.
If I had a compressor, I'd
I've
just
just
make
never
fidget
had it.
spinners go really fast all the time, man. I'd be a nightmare with the compressor.
So, note to self, don't give Josh a compressor. Either way, we're back underway. It's already been 30 seconds into the round. However, nothing has really changed. No damage has really been dealt. Sure, Kirby's down at 64. Nino is down at 93. Yeah, I guess. A little bit of nade damage here and there. No kills just yet. Now, Red is going to be able to find the first. Kazuya there with the trade. Paddy only good for one. As it's back to a 3-on-3. Mark, in the meantime, does at least find Kirby the strongest fragger. The biggest danger on the side of Epic Dudes right now.
And Gim's found his first kill. He's fixed his mouse, and that's it. He's back. Let's go. Let's go, baby. Perks, though. On a really good angle to catch off the rotations, and yeah. That wasn't much of a story, was it? Perks just takes care of both of them. You can actually see the smile on his face as well. I love seeing player cams. It always just kind of gives a bit of an insight to different teams and how they react to situations and whatnot. And you can see No Limit Gaming are having a bit of fun right now. Yeah, they're enjoying this. They're playing really well, and they should be.
Yeah, I'm always a big fan of player cams. I'm not the biggest when we just kind of see them in buy phases or like timeouts. Sure, that's interesting, but it's not as great as them literally being in sprays. We can see them just as if everybody would be at LAN. Of course, a huge addition to Counter-Strike in general. Right now, though, the push coming in. Tech9's, Julie's out, and I love the dualies, especially if they can find kills as well. Right now, it's more doing damage. What's even going on? All going to be down to Nino in a 1v1 up against Red. No bomb plant just yet. And I think Red might have just spotted out the bomb as well. Is it dropped in water or is it still at the top? I think it's dropped down into water.
I think you can see it, though. I think it's definitely flashing up on the map. I think it's like right on the edge. That was unreal from Paddy, though. Beautiful spray transfer, almost finding that third. Nino, very lucky to be alive. Oh, no, it is down. Okay, no. Red can't see it. So whilst he's definitely got the information that it's down there, he has no idea if Nino's grabbed it and gone A or not. So he's just fully committed to this angle right now. Nino will start falling away, and that bit of util that's been thrown, that smoke towards short, has blown his cover, but Red still thinks he's here in water. Oh, this is valuable time that is now being wasted, and all of these extra seconds that it's going to take Red to rotate gives Nino a chance to get a good post-plant position.
Yeah, but the question is the position that he's going into right now the right one? Is still quite aggressive. Could, of course, put an early stop to Red's rotation. All about timing here. Does Red check? He does, but he's not quick enough. Probably would have been better served on the M4 rather than the Tech9. But, yeah, in the end, it's the second round here for Epic Dudes. Finally, a little bit out of nowhere, of course, with those flashbangs raining in. The Tech9's coming in force. But yet again, I mean, it's still 10-2. Epic Dudes, I'd be expecting, yeah, ideally 5 rounds at the end of the first half. Otherwise, it'll be really, really tough for them to get back into this.
Yeah, for sure. 5 rounds what they're looking for. I mean, you want more on a T side of Overpass, to be honest, but that's too late now. They've already allowed NLG to get on to double digits. This is going to be a really tough one to claw back. We do see another quick pause in. Hopefully not over technical nature once again. No, it's just a quick tack. So an opportunity for them to try and claw their way back into this. They've got a good chance here as well. I mean, you look at NLG NLG, once again in this position, as I mentioned before, because these rounds have come so close, they don't have a lot of money behind them. That single round loss is kind of enough to reset the last 5 rounds worth of economy that's built up. And you can see the repercussions of it. A Deagle, an MP9, no util on Perks, a single flash on Red. This is going to be tough for them to hold on to this, but ooh, the early leg almost does wonders.
Yeah, and still he's going to be lingering around that middle area of the map. Paddy as well, close range in towards Fountain now, is going to get flashed into deeper mid. But still, living on the edge there, is going to be dropped by Nino. And there you go, the early player advantage now as well. Red dropping to Kirby. That's exactly what the T's need. Kirby's not going to be stopped by that Molotov. Quick run for him, and the headshot gets Perks. Continues on to Marky as well. And Kirby, yet again, the man of the hour here for Epic Dudes. The guy that is keeping them in this game.
Well, that's a hell of a round, isn't it? Epic Dudes keeping all 5 players alive. They want to keep it that way as well. You look at the bank accounts, Gim and Sync D on very, very low money. So holding on to these weapons, trying to pick up any kind of discarded util on the floor is definitely worth its weight in gold. I don't think they'll find anything, because as I mentioned before, NLG really didn't have much util to start with in this round. They're hunting as well here. Hunting pretty hard too. They need to be quite careful. They don't want to be losing members here. They can't afford it. And Octalicious finds one with ease, doesn't take any damage. That AWP could be next on the menu, and they definitely don't want to be losing it. Nino carries it across into the next zone. And to be fair, he's got $8,000 behind him, so it wouldn't have been the end of the world had he have dropped it there. But yeah, clean stuff to get things going. Nino and Kirby just finding all those entries. Kirby hitting his shots again, just beautifully, just like we saw on the first map of the day on Dust 2. We need to see more of that, though, if a comeback's really on here. Kirby's playing well. He's 14 to 12. He's kind of with the big boys, to be honest, at the top of the server scoreboard. But yeah, some of his teammates really lacking. Gim still on 2 frags. Kazuya, one of the harder hitters in the previous maps, only on 4 as well. 4 and 13. Not having a great map here at all.
Yeah, and at the same time, Perks, of course, has been super strong for NLG as well. Ocalicious, yes, he's double digits as well at 10. But everybody else is still under double digits. So, I mean, not exactly the best of showings, but when you have one teammate after 13 rounds that's found 16 kills already, then it's fine if you're not exactly going double digits just yet. Of course, Paddy's at 16 as well, so that makes life so much more difficult for the rest of their team. As right now, SyncD holding on, making sure nobody goes too aggressive, and at the same time, he's also holding back, unaware of the boost thus far.
I'm a big fan of that boost, by the way. I really like that boost. Unfortunately, it doesn't catch anyone off this time round, but yeah, when you've only got one M4 in play, kind of putting him in a position like that can really turn the tide sometimes. Red does well to find one with the P2K, but there's no way he's getting any more than that. But it's good damage regardless. Ocalicious, he's going to have a crack at this. They're going to have money in the next anyway, so see what he can do here.
Yeah, even just making it more expensive, making sure that the T's have to invest more. Sure, Nino's at $7,000, but everybody else also around $3,000. As long as they have to reinvest, that is still money that could be missing in their war chest, even though, of course, yeah, last round, the first half is going to be coming up, so not really going to be making too much of a difference. Ocalicious able to find one, but only one. It's now Perks catching up with that M4, but the timer is already so far gone. You might as well try to hold on to it. It's a buy in the next round no matter what, so still there's no reason just giving it away. But still, you can take out SyncD. Everything's fine, an AK recovered. And the next buy is going to be so much more comfortable. Last round of the first half. 11-4 or 10-5 is the big question. I think Epic Dudes have done well to kind of stay into this game very, very late here in the half. But we'll see.
I mean, they're doing all that they can, yeah? At the end of the day, they have left it too late. As you said, they've kind of left it too late to kind of pull into this one. But it's the best that you can do. And when you're 10-2 down, or 10-1 down, I think, even at one point, just try and claw back what you can, try and bring it back to a 10-5 half. That's what we're seeing come into fruition right now. And they are looking better as well in these kind of situations. They've been playing well. I have no idea how Paddy is not burning in that Molotov. He is, like, right on the edge of the fire, getting toasty toes, but not taking any damage from it. It does look like it's going to be a big execution here, though.
Yeah, 3 players straight in front of Monster, just waiting for utility to happen, seeing if there's going to be any sort of response from the CTs. And right now, Okalicious and Perks are still here. Perks with that first one, Okalicious can't chime in. Perks, though, and Marquis, those 2 guys giving it their all, and it is going to be 11-4 at halftime. It wasn't as easy as initially expected, but yeah, very, very strong. Sure, they do lose 3 rounds in a row. As you said, it was 10-1 at some stage, but still, what a performance, I'd like to say, from No Limit Gaming here in the first half of map 3. If they're able to transfer any of that energy into the second half, then they should be able to close this one out as well. Perk sitting comfortably at 21 here.
Yeah, he's having a fantastic game, isn't he? Not just 21 kills, but 21-7. I mean, he is playing out of his mind, and what a time to step up as well. Like, there are times in a series where, yeah, you can have a great game in the first map, that's fantastic, you'll be praised for it, but the third map, when the pressure's really on, when there's no margin for error, that's when you want your stars to shine, and Perked is really doing that right now. 11-4 half. I really don't see No Limit Gaming letting this slip, but Epic Dudes have been pretty good on the back foot so far. We did see on Nuke they pulled off quite a nice comeback, or at least the start of a comeback. If they can take the pistol round, they might be able to draw this closer.
Yeah, so we'll have to see what NLG can do in the pistol. Pistols haven't really been as strong for them, of course. Yes, they were able to win it in the first half, but apart from that, they were only able to win 1 pistol on map number 2. Both of the ones in map 1 went the way of Epic Dudes. Of course, that map ended up going 16-14. It was super, super tight. NLG were almost able to manage it to actually turn it into OT, or maybe even turn it around in regular time. That didn't end up happening. But of course, with that, we would have already been done by now. Otherwise, NLG are just looking to close things out. And of course, then have just about half an hour's break to calm down and be straight back ready for that next game, as they will be facing alternate attacks today as well. It is going to be super interesting to see how far they can get. Winning this best of 3, winning this map, at least does bring you €1,000 already.
For sure, yeah. And for a team like Epic Dudes, that's a result. Yeah, it's a big result. No Limit Gaming being like the second seed in the tournament, I think they're kind of expecting to get to the finals, to be honest. They've definitely had a hard run to get there, and they're not done yet. Marky with a big opening headshot, though. And he wants more, flashing into the angle, taking the second fight, finds it onto Nino, even dipping in for the third. But it's all a bit of a distraction as his teammates start to work their way up long, and Kirby seems to be wise to it, but he's here by himself. Oh, wow.
Yeah, good stuff there from Okalicious, as NLG have a perfect opening to this pistol round. Already only Gim and Sync D remaining, so right now this should pretty much be the end of Epic Dudes in this round. Even for the tournament. 12 rounds, that's for sure for NLG. Only 4 away now from winning this best of 3, and we'll have to see how far they can actually go. Of course, long streak of rounds in the first half. Just the fact that they were all over the map as well, finding kills here in the second pistol has been so crazy.
The read there as well was just beautiful when you look at how they actually entered onto that A bomb site, knowing that Kirby was going to be somewhere around toilets or close to map. Instead of just peeking out and taking the gunfight, Red basically jumps across looking at the floor, and Okalicious swings for not the trade, but the kill. Yeah, it's just a beautiful little bait play, and it works beautifully. 12-4, pistol round going their way. Epic Dudes know that they have to force into this. I mean, I think they'd be forcing into this ordinarily anyway, but yeah, this round actually becomes sort of fairly important for them to try and pick up, or at least do a significant amount of damage. If they lose it, No Limit Gaming will be on 13. They'll be right on the cusp of victory. And Epic Dudes won't have any cash in the bank to try and deny it.
Yeah, that's the most important part right now, of course. 55 seconds pretty much passed. Sure, a little bit of damage, but not really a whole lot. 11 damage onto Kim. Apart from that, everybody's still sitting comfortably at 100. And even Paddy is moving in towards long right now. Nothing facing him just yet. But the bomb is linking up back with him anyways, alongside Marky and Red now. Time to move. They've been loud, they've been heard. Paddy to find that first one onto Kazuya is exactly what you need, as he's been one of the stronger players today. Maybe not here on Overpass, but certainly in the previous two maps. Reds continues. Game is able to find one, but only one, and even Kirby gets dropped immediately on after. They had weaponry, weren't quite strong enough. And Josh, in the end, it's now 13-4, inching ever so closer.
Yeah, kind of expecting that one to go NLG's way, to be honest, but still crisp shots, nice round. Now Epic Dudes have no real choice but to go onto an eco. Yeah, they could go on the offensive, try and force into this, just sort of play for that. We're going to keep forcing until we tap out here, but no, it's a smarter move to drop down to an eco, go for a full investment in the next. Okay, you're playing for 10 in a row just to tie things up, but that's definitely their best option, their best chance at success here. As Perks opens the door early onto that man, it's Gim in short with the pistol. He's done better, yeah. I mean, 6-16 is definitely not a good scoreline, but bear in mind he had like no kills going into round number 10. These last few rounds have been better for him, but yeah, still not what he's been looking for at all. This has not been a good performance from him or Kazuya.
Yeah, big opening there yet again for Paddy, just to continue finding these kills. Yes, of course, it's only against the pistols, but still takes a little bit of skill to find headshot after headshot after headshot, and yet again, dominant start into the second half. 3 rounds in a row now. Quick little sip of water for Red, and then he can continue quickly on after. Yeah, unlucky for Kirby, of course. He's had a crazy day. A couple of crazy kills earlier. Not only was he able to clutch back, I think, a 1v3, but also managed to get an ace in the round after. Just Kirby things, I guess. You guys can get on another one of those Skin Baron vouchers. Right now we're already into this round. Nino, so important for Epic Dudes to finally find an entry into one of these rounds.
Oh, spraying through the smoke. Kirby looked like the X-ray was lining up. Couldn't actually connect any of those shots. Okalicious. In fact, he took a little bit of damage, but couldn't find the kill. Either way, 2-man advantage for Epic Dudes, and to be honest, a big round for them. Again, it's kind of one of those where it's unlikely they pull this all the way back, but they're still fighting, and I love it.
Trying to move through right now. Marky still up towards, more towards B right now. However, of course, NLG just kind of taking their time. Epic Dude's not going aggressive just yet. Nino adds on top of his kill to find a second. That's the thing, they still have so much of a buffer in this game right now. It should still be able to bring everything to an end.
Oh, Okalicious creeping up, but Nino, all the timing! I thought that was just a free kill, but no. Nade's gonna go in, does a lot of damage onto Nino. He's still alive, but surely falls here on the swing, and there you go. C4 should be able to... No, actually, no way it's gonna go down. Kazuya's in toilets, but... Oh, that was a little bit frightening. Either way, 14-5. Epic Dudes stay afloat for now.
Yeah, at least for now, and we'll see how far they can actually keep on top of this as well now. Of course, especially here, early holds were important. Big movements here from Okalicious to even find a kill, to be honest. Just chucking that nade in, moving left, right, dodging the AWP was so strong for him. But right now, NLG 4-man stack, shot over towards the B bomb site, didn't quite hit. love to see how close it was, but Nino in the meantime is going to be able to find Perks. Not yet again, the early advantage they were looking for. Red finds Kazuya though. Trying to push in towards mid. Kirby has got aggressive towards B to pick up Okalicious. That's 2 kills in front of the B bomb site. The T's have already started to move over towards A. Look at how far Paddy is already disconnected from the rest of his team. Could find a quick one onto Sync D before that smoke even blooms. But Sync D is quicker. Right now, the options are very, very slim yet again. Red is also being flanked. Gim coming in from behind, finding that kill. And right now, Marky is very, very limited in his own capabilities. Could be Kirby to end him. Gim will be quick enough to actually wrap all the way around Kirby yet again. On top of his headshots. An important timing for Epic Dudes to kind of come back into this, to not already be on the brink of losing this game.
I'm not really sure where these bursts come from, do you know what I mean? Like, on Nuke they're getting demolished, and then as soon as their opponents hit that 14 mark, then they start looking pretty good, and they start bringing some rounds back. And it's pretty similar to here as well. Like, these last 2 rounds have been super dominant from Epic Dudes. They haven't just been like average rounds. They've kept everybody alive. They've been fantastic. It does just feel a little bit late, though. They're still a long way away from closing this gap. No Limit Gaming are down to the pistols here. Paddy fully invested into this as well. So an opportunity for them to pull this even further. Kirby with the spray down. Oh, it's messy, but the kills are found regardless. And it's another clean one. Okalicious, 1 HP. I thought the round was done, but no, he's just on a slither of health. Oof.
And you never know what a slither of health can still deliver. Nobody coming in from behind just yet. Nobody that he has to worry about. Of course, he's not aware of that much as we are. Can he find another explosive entry over towards the map? Can he find a quick headshot on that Deagle? Unfortunately, of course, he doesn't have the information that we have, and with that, it's 14-7. Still, of course, NLG, double the amount of rounds that Epic Dudes currently field. And quite comfortable buys as well. Sure, Sync D's down to 1,200, Kirby's at 2 grand. But still, Nino almost at 7. He already has the op, so nothing to worry about. And the rest is fine to continue as well, even if they were now to lose a round. Paddy, of course, disconnected, as you said prior. It comes down to money in his buy. He's only going to be on a Deagle. Never know.
Well, another big chunk of damage taken by Okalicious early, trying to go for that pick in short, and he's down to 39 points of health because of it. Nino falling away from long as well. They know that they've got a big advantage here, and it's him and Sync push into short. It's perfect. The flash is brilliant. There's the man advantage. Once again, Epic Dudes get off on the right foot. Marky, I don't think he's seen him cross, but he definitely would have heard it, so it doesn't really matter. They just need to kind of reel it in a little bit here. Kirby, been spotted and tagged crossing. They've got a man advantage. They don't need to overextend in this situation.
Just worry slightly. Gim as well, thinking about going aggressive in towards short right now, still holding back. I feel like he might have seen Marky, or at least is expecting him here in the corner. Still, Marky is able to find that kill immediately. Sync D's there though from Water, is able to trade back for 2. Paddy and Red chime in now. This is back down to a 2-on-2. Paddy at 11. This at 42, that bomb plant won't be stopped.
Ooh,
how's he even still alive? Of course, none the wiser, but as long as they live, it's less of a problem for them. One nade would end it all, but they don't have it. Molotov goes deep. That might be enough just to secure a defuse. Both players do have kits. They're going for the fight right now. That seems to be the better choice. Kazuya with both.
That's smart from Kazuya to expect them both to be there as well. Unfortunate that AWP shot just narrowly missed by Red, but that was close. That was a very, very close round. 14-8, really could have gone either way. Gim gets off to a good start, but these entries onto the site are pretty fantastic. To be honest, it was just 1 for 1, each left and right, kind of slashing at each other. And as I say, that definitely could have gone either way. No Limit Gaming could have been on 15 here. Instead, Epic Dudes pull it back that little bit closer. And you know what you missed yesterday, Tyler? You missed something quite funny. So one of the players on City State Punks is called Alexan, right? And can you imagine? Can you imagine what kept happening?
What
Can
happened?
you guess?
No.
Have a think. Alexan. I'm going to summon her again in a minute. She's thinking about it. No.
Oh. Oh.
Yeah, it took a while. It took a while for me to work out why it was happening as well.
All right.
Yeah.
Well,
I've never had that
have
before.
one of those beasts.
I've never had that before, Tyler. I've never had someone with a name in Counter-Strike that's similar enough for that to be a problem. It's like a player being called OK Google.
I hope that nobody's watching on his TV right now and had their assistant go off. Whilst we're at it, we'll say, "Hey Siri." But yeah, we'll continue with this, as I'm sure production hates us right now. Yeah, Kazuya able to shut down Perks in towards Connector. The Tech-9's not really coming through for anything. Kazuya with a 3K. And that pretty much sums up that round, I think.
Yeah, just clean stuff. Obviously up against these pistols, they're not really expecting to get much done. To be honest, probably hoping for a little bit more than this. Potential for a bomb plant. Paddy, ooh, does find the head. Yeah, had to kind of pick between the two, didn't he? I think he's chosen the right one, though. Throwing that smoke down might give him an opportunity. The nade, ooh, just a little short. Damage absorbed by the boxes. If Paddy had the bomb right now, he'd be able to secure that plant, but he doesn't. It's miles away, hence why all of the CTs are just guarding it in a circle. And, well, 14-9, another really clean round from Epic Dudes. They only lose one player. This bank's starting to build up quite nicely. The problem is, I suppose, is that they're not really going to get the opportunity to use it. They can't really afford to lose rounds. So the amount of money they have behind them is fairly irrelevant.
Yeah, pretty much. I still think, though, that right now, with that 14-9, sure, the lead is kind of melting away, but they have so many chances just to throw new things at the wall, see if it sticks. If it doesn't, try something else. And sure, we've had plenty of close rounds. No Limit Gaming, they only need to get lucky twice. Marky finding Sync D. Game at least able to trade back onto Okalicious. The rest of No Limit Gaming are going to be heading over towards the A bomb site. Big focus in towards long again, as they've done before. There to greet them early on. Nobody in towards long toilets either. Now is Kazuya rotating back up towards the A bomb site. With that AWP venturing forward. Biggest fan of it, but I'm ready for it to work out. Red in the meantime finds Kazuya. All gonna come down to timing here. Marky is still down below in towards Connector. He's taking such a long time to come up from that position. Of course, is expecting one of the CTs to be rotating via there. Timing is going to be crucial here for Marky up against Nino. Nino comes out on top right now. Can maybe even fall back to try and support the players in towards the bomb site. Or the single player in game, really. Ooh. Still there from shorts. Doesn't line up.
Yeah, Nino needed to connect that shot. Kirby called upon now, running through the molly, though so low on health, but brings it back into a 2-on-2. The C4 planted, but they've got such good post-plant positions. Nino bombing it up with a Tech-9, knows that he can't afford to just play from an arm's length. Kirby still delivering, and if they get the information that the last is on long, Kirby can just jump on this bomb. They're already tapping it. Red pressured forward, swings out, finds the first, blinded. Are they committing to the plant? No, he's low on health, and the Glock switch to gets the job done. Red, that is absolutely masterful, and it puts NLG onto 15.
The thing is, I think if Kirby would just pull through, he might have just had enough time to get that defuse in as well. There was a kit on site, so of course he could have had it at the same time. I'm not sure how much time was remaining. We saw earlier on Dust 2 where he was able to clutch it through just by defusing. And right now, well, it doesn't quite work out. It's a 15 for No Limit Gaming. And that could be the end of this best of 3, the end of the semi-final, and that would put No Limit Gaming into the grand final up against Alternate Attacks. Everybody, I think, expected that game to be Big Academy up against NLG, but Attacks certainly got the better of the Big Academy roster. They weren't bad at any stretch of the imagination, but Atax just showed up so well today. And if they can get any sort like that back into the next best of 3, then they should be set as well.
Absolutely. Epic Dudes back with another strong buy. NLG only keeping one player alive in the last means that they don't have a huge amount of money once again. But 6 chances to close now. They're on map point. Secured overtime at the very least. It was a hell of an attempt from Kirby last round, but couldn't get it done. Lots of damage dealt though. Look at that, Kirby. Hasn't even seen anyone yet. He's on 12 HP. That Mac 10 actually doing a lot more damage through that wood than I'd have thought.
Yeah, Kazuya burns Okolicious alive, already an early advantage. Sure though, Kirby and Gim both are tagged down low, only amount to 15 HP if you were to combine the two. And here in towards long, Paddy has been spotted and falls back because of it. At least repositions here back towards toilets. Of course, show more as well. 3 players I think now have rotated back up. At least they have 3 players here ready and waiting for the tease. Paddy gets naded down.
Oh, there we go. A little bit of overkill on Gim. I think he was on 3 HP and he's just been taken out by that AWP. But, you know, it doesn't really matter. Key shot missed. Paddy, it opens the door for him and he doubles down. No Limit Gaming, surely this is it. What an entry sequence there from Paddy. A key shot missed by Nino on that AWP, and he's going to be kicking himself that he's not hit it because Paddy's just gone stellar off the opportunity.
Yeah, so with that, all going to be down to Sync D. 1v4, not a whole lot of chances. Does have a defuse, get the bomb already halfway gone. But of course, right now, just kind of waiting for anybody to take a swing. Paddy is going to finish things off. I thought he might be the first player to drop on that T-sided offense. But it all works out a little bit different. Crazy, crazy stuff there. In the end, I think we have the team that we expected in our grand final, but it sure was a very, very close affair between these two.
Absolutely, yeah. I wasn't expecting it to go to 3 maps. I don't want to kind of seem like... I never want to see when you go into a series, you're always got to be optimistic. You never want to kind of seem like you're going into a series and saying, oh yeah, it's just going to be a 2-0. Like, nothing exciting happening here, folks. But I really was expecting that to be a 2-0 to NLG. Epic Dudes fought really, really hard. This has been a really good showing from them. And to be honest, even though they haven't won it, we've got a lot of viewers over the last couple of days. They've kind of proved to everyone that they're a strong roster. They can compete with some of the best that the German scene has to offer, and I'm excited to see sort of how they do following into the Meisterschaft season and in other tournaments as well, because these guys looked really, really good today and yesterday as well.
Yeah, of course, I didn't get to see too many of the matches yesterday, but surely showed up today, and we'll be looking forward to see that continue as well. Of course, we will still have an interview coming up, just kind of test the waters. What are they expecting now for the grand final? If our doc is right, it should be Okolicious. If it's different, then we'll let you know as soon as he's here. But yeah, what a crazy second best of 3. We've been through 6 maps today already if we've been following all of the action. Of course, Atax today in their first game had kind of a hard fight up against Big Academy. Went 16-7 on map 1 for Big Academy, only for Atax to bring it back 16-10 and 16-8. This one went the full distance as well, with Epic Dudes winning the first map, only for NLG to come back with 16-9s on both other games. So yeah, crazy stuff. Both teams that progress into the grand final today are teams that lost the first map and still end up qualifying, so everything fine in that regard. They've certainly earned their money's worth today, and of course, especially for Atax, they played yesterday, are playing today, have €1,000 already safe. NLG have only played to date 1 best of 3, €1,000, a second best of 3 if they win it, €3,000 for the team. Not too shabby.
It's not a bad little payday, is it? When it comes to like these big tournaments where you're playing for a little bit of prize money, but you're playing it over weeks and weeks and weeks, there's loads of preparation, there's lots of match days and things like that. But yeah, like a small tournament like this, €3,000 compared to something like the big tournaments that go on and stuff, it doesn't seem like a lot. But for literally playing for NLG. Let's say for argument's sake, NLG win it. That's 2 best of 3s. 2 best of 3s of Counter-Strike, sort of 3 grand between the 5 of you. That's not bad at all. So yeah, they're definitely looking to win this one, and if they can do it, then they'll be the only sort of invited team that actually kind of made it through. Of course, Big Academy on the other side of things fell. They were the first seed invite. I don't know if the seeding was done off of world rankings or not. It very much looked like that was the case, but maybe there was external factors that came into play. Either way, alternate attacks, I feel like they definitely could have been within one of those seeded teams for sure. They really have proved that, and they're a very, very strong roster, and I think that they could definitely get it done in the grand finals.
So we'll see how that actually comes to us. I think Okalicious should be joining us any moment now. Yeah, of course, they made it through quite nicely. We'll have to see what he has to say, or whoever actually joins us from the team. Yeah, I'm not sure just yet. I thought we were actually going to look at the bracket first, but apparently he should be ready soon. I mean, we've pretty much had 2 games yesterday, 2 today already, a grand final still to be played. One of the high seed invites dropped. Josh has got a visitor. We've now got 3 people on the show already. Yeah.
Sorry about that. Hello, Teddy. What are you doing? Yeah, okay. Well, I mean, we could interview the cat, but I don't think it'd be very interesting. But yeah, I mean, that was a really, really exciting series. Definitely sort of not what I expected. Not what I expected to happen at all. But I think we're ready. I think we're ready to get into this one. Okalicious, welcome.
I think he might be frozen.
Yeah, I was frozen. Hello? Hello? Can you hear me?
Hey. Yes, we can.
Just my stream just froze. I only could see myself. I don't know why. Hello.
All right. So GG, of course. First of all, first map for you guys was not the way I guess you guys wanted to start on Dust 2. What went wrong?
I don't know. I'm not sure what went wrong. I think we were a bit nervous, maybe, because we were playing our mates, kind of. I don't know. I cannot tell you. It felt a little bit off, the game. But yeah, we bounced back on the CT side. We could have won this game, actually, but we've lost way too many key rounds, and I think that broke us a bit.
So, of course, transitioning in towards Nuke, you guys had a slightly easier time, especially the first half, of course. You guys started off well. At times, the 2 of us thought that Epic Dudes might get a chance to kind of get into the game. Of course, you guys ended up winning it 16-9. How did that come down to individual performance as well? Of course, Perks and Red had very, very strong games today.
Yeah, of course, they played very insane and already on Dust 2, I think. I'm not sure, but yeah, there's not much to say, I think. Like, in my opinion, we've lost the first map to ourselves, kind of, and the other maps were kind of, yeah, we had everything under control, it felt like, so yeah, not much to say, I guess.
All right, looking ahead, of course, Atax is going to be coming up next. What are your thoughts?
I think that's gonna be an interesting game because Patrick is playing instead of Xen. They've made some roster changes, like they swapped in their coach instead of Cello. So yeah, it's gonna be an interesting game. I think there's some random aspect as well, but I think we should be the favorites in this matchup. But we'll see. Like, you cannot really tell.
All right. If Josh doesn't have anything to add, then we'll send you on your way, and you guys can prepare then for your next game.
Right, that's all from me. Congratulations on the win, and good luck in the finals.
All right, thank you.
All right, pretty easy. Not a whole lot to say. He says he just played against a couple of his mates, and it ended up working out for them.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, as always, bizarre, isn't it? We do get to take a quick look at the bracket, though, and I mean that's what you get in like German regional CS, isn't it? Everybody knows each other, everyone pugs with each other, so you are almost just playing against your friends. It's like a fun, friendly tournament. Alternate Attacks versus No Limit Gaming. That's going to be coming up in about 30 minutes, folks. So make sure you maybe go and grab yourself something to eat, grab a drink, and then come back to join us for that one because you do not want to miss it. But as I say, we're going to be taking a slightly extended break, so we'll see you all very, very soon, and when we return, we'll be back into the action. Bye-bye.